so too.
But we got to try. It's the day after.
Well, it's live.
It is. Is it live now? Holy shit! I got to go put my TV screen in the live stream. It's the day after. Well, it's live. It is. Oh, there it is. I got the notification. You're doing better than AT. He didn't get no notification today.
I know it. That's 2 notifications for me today.
It is. Did you get mine? There it is. Oh shit! Hold on. I got turned down. Son of a bitch. Okay, there we go. I almost pulled the bird. Thomas Potts is in the house. So is Ranger 93208 Gaming and Josh Street. No notification. Why the hell are you here, bud?
Hi, Josh. Hi, Ranger. Hi, Thomas.
You can blame this on me. I kind of forced DJ into this one.
Yeah, I was actually laid back and dozing off.
Oh, well, you're unsubbing to DJ. Okay, that's better.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Hi, Rambling.
Hey, Rambling. What's up, buddy? How you doing there? So who you laying in bed with, DJ? You said you had some...
I wasn't in bed. I was laid back in my recliner, dozing off, listening to GLM.
Get off my lawn! Is that kind of what that is?
I was listening to GLM as I was sort of dozing off because I just drank a whole bunch of NyQuil.
Big and small wide. Joint fucking Q. Green Death flavor.
Doink.
Hey, that's Dennis Leary. You can't fuck with that.
So, what have you been up to all day?
Well, it took me 3 hours.
Speaking of the microphone.
It's fucked up.
Can't hear you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Barely, but it sounds like it's still under a pillow.
Son of a bitch.
There, now that's better. About time you take the thing out of your wife's cleavage.
I wish you got some tiggle bitties.
I was not listening to Frank and Freddie's honeymoon videos.
Yeah, that's right. He was watching them.
No, I was not watching them either. I don't do that. That's Bird's territory, not mine. Have we ever found anybody good enough yet to be able to put 2 pictures together?
Rambling, I will. Actually, I don't even know if I'm subbed to you yet, but I'm going to do that
Bad
right
boy,
now.
you should have been subbed to Rambling a long time ago like the rest
I
of us.
should have been, because he's one of the very first people I seen in Bird and AT streams. So I'm going to do this right now. Son of a bitch. And if you're not subbed to me, go ahead and do it, but I'm pretty sure you is. So
I'm going to unsub from Annie Trekker if he ever plays that goddamn Bird video again.
Oh, that one he did today?
Yes.
Oh my god. I told him when he's on live, he's fine. But as soon as he plays them super chats, it's like my eardrums get blown the fuck out. It's like, what the hell? Are you serious?
Well, it wasn't the fact that it's just freaking annoying as hell.
It is. It's annoying as hell. It's annoying as hell. I mean, can't you just leave the poor bird alone? Well, no.
Outback Outlaw is in the house.
Hey guys, hey, you know what? Do you have that clip from Anna Trekker putting Bird up? Because I'm kind of curious what Outback says about that.
No, I don't have that clip.
Oh, son of a bitch! Oh,
Thomas Potts, you're whacked if you think it's a great super chat. The thing just the railing of the noises and that, it just like killed my head.
No, Thomas Potts is fake news.
Hello, Richie Poole.
Richie Poole, what's up, buddy?
So let's focus in on the chat here and see what the hell everybody's been up to tonight and how their days and nights and
how is everybody's New Year's going? How the hell y'all doing, ladies and gents? Are you all right?
And now we wait.
Well, Bird of Prey should have got a tank that wasn't in the GTA universe. Now, if he had had a tank in the Saints Row universe, he could have fucked some shit up. And I'm
There's
telling you,
Tubian.
Tubian, how you doing, bud?
See that? You said we'd have 0 people, and we got 10 so far.
I know. See, what the hell? See, I know it's nothing.
You damn dink.
Dank.
I was looking over the comments to my video from this morning.
Yeah, did you like mine?
Yeah, but apparently some people didn't actually watch the whole video.
You calling me out now?
I haven't called them out yet. I may just do that right here because
Why?
I had one that asked me about if I had a prediction about Black Widow, and towards the end of the video, I did say that Black Widow would probably be the top-rated movie of the year.
All the way through, you did say your prediction was Black Widow would be the highest-grossing MCU movie for 2020.
Yep. So I'm not going to mention any names, but somebody wants to go read the comments themselves. They can see that I've just called somebody out because.
Are they in the chat right now?
No, they're not in the chat right now.
Okay, but it's on record though. We got it here. It's on record.
Hey, there's Darth Kilhoun. Let's bring Darth up.
Darth Kilhoun. Howdy.
Hell, whoever else, if they get in line and jump in there, we'll throw them up. Captain Cat's in the house too.
Captain Cat, look at that.
So
fine
Rambling wants to pop up, he can. Darth Kilhoun wants to pop up, he can.
A guy or a girl?
What?
Is Captain Cat a guy or a girl?
He's a guy.
Oh, I'm just wondering why he's got a picture of a pussy for his avatar.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Rambling Canuck, I didn't even bother to watch it, and I'm glad I didn't because I went and listened to Gary this afternoon, which he is as big a Doctor Who fan as I am, and he was not impressed or happy at all.
See, this just wouldn't be New Year's without the Odd One and Sci-Fi Nation. Even though he was sick in his recliner and telling people to get off his lawn, I texted him and said, "Let's do a live stream, motherfucker."
You didn't text me. You called my ass and woke me up.
See? You're welcome.
I'm going to have to start putting the phone on silent at night when I'm dozing off.
Is anyone happy that I did? I mean, y'all showed up.
And then the wife said she'd be on, and where is she?
She went to bed.
Yeah, you dink.
I ain't married yet. I ain't got no ring on my finger.
Well,
hey, if y'all feel sorry for Digi Odyssey, throw a Streamlabs donation to him.
Well, no, not Streamlabs. Send it to my PayPal. Anyway, Thomas, the Eternals come out this year, and there was some other Marvel movie that they had listed they didn't name.
Oh, see, Josh Street says DJ Sci-Fi is just paying you back for the other night. Yeah, you did have me out kind of late, didn't you, there, Wood?
I didn't. You could have went to bed at any time you wanted.
I can't leave my psychic.
Actually, I was trying to go to bed after 2 hours of the stream, and it just kept going and going and going. Next thing I know, it's 5 hours. I was like, holy shit.
You already knew from the last few weeks, anytime me and you get on a stream, how long does it go?
Minimum 3 hours.
Exactly. You're welcome.
Hell, I'm not paying attention because damn Dart's in the background.
See how you're doing?
So is Captain Cat.
See? Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Hello, Darth.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
So far, it's going.
Howdy.
Hey.
Of course, Captain Cat has himself muted already.
I got a question for, okay, so we got Captain Cat in here. Why the hell you got a picture that looks like a pussy if you're a dude?
Look at the cat closer. It's a cat in a Starfleet uniform.
That don't matter. They call them pussies in the UK, don't they?
He's not in the UK.
Well, just ask him. Makes you wonder what Spot was, don't it?
No. Does not make me wonder.
Jesus, see how I get treated over here, people. He thinks I'm a dink, and he's a dink.
Uh-oh, GLM's rating us.
I'm being rated by GLM.
She sent over the smartest man in YouTube, David Melbourne.
I just feel honored that I'm being rated by GLM.
Help me if you can, which is GLM herself, has come in.
She had a couple of videos in the last day or two.
You need to learn how to behave yourself over there, though.
I know. I need to learn how to hush my mouth.
I gave her some advice. I said, next time you get out of line, just mute his butt for a while. I seriously did.
I guess she's lucky I wasn't on the live stream, eh?
The real Exodus Bible rapper is in. We're being raided. Deadpool's here too. Look at Deadpool's here.
Bible rapper. Welcome. I've never seen you in any stream before, so welcome.
Oh, I've seen Real quite a few times over in GLM's. They're raiding us, and we have no weapons now, so they're taking over.
We have Deadpool in the house.
He spelled his name wrong, though. Can't have a gap.
He did.
He's a rapper. Captain Cat's still trying to figure things out.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Ain't no biggie. Just a little bit.
So, did any of you see the train wreck that was Rise of Skywalker?
Do we even have to talk about that?
We love you. God loves me.
No, I haven't watched Star Trek or Star Wars since The Force Awakens.
Deadpool is Horn Pub famous. It's all over.
Well, I mean, I've watched Mandalorian, but...
Yeah, well, that's actually worth watching. I forced myself to watch it so I could do a YouTube review.
David
Outlaw's here.
Dega's in here. Yes, he is.
See that GLM? We even have an outlaw over here.
Adega, you have a wrench on this stream. Put the link to your book that you just released on Amazon yesterday. Put the link into this stream right here, right now, please, bud. He just released the book. He also does a voiceover for Action Our Comics. Check out his channel. He does excellent work.
Boy.
I can't wait till I publish my book, but that'll be like a while now. I still need to get through the second draft of the first two books.
Remedy Canuck, I thought that was the most ridiculous Twitter fight I've ever seen in my life. That happened for like 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. In fact, one of my pinned tweets was for the longest. It was like, oh my gosh. It's like, forget it. I was
DJ, I just seen the name of your stream. What the fuck?
Well, you woke me halfway out of a sleep, so I'm here. Now what? I don't know.
I mean, you got 4 people on the stream. You got, 15 people watching with 11 likes.
Yep, and I'm downing my NyQuil again so I can talk.
Big and small white giant freaking kill green death flavored NyQuil.
This is more like cherry.
over Jim Cornette getting fired, Melbourne, or resigning. Basically,
Adega,
go F themselves.
I just want to say to Adega, put the link to your book from Amazon in. You got a wrench, buddy. You can do it.
Twitter has fights every day. It doesn't have to be just about wrestling or something.
Yeah. William Shatner has fights every day over. He'll post a comment that one time he posted, oh, these people do actually good work. And all of a sudden they come out of the woodwork. Oh, no, they don't. And I'm sitting there going like,
Oh no, they don't.
There, I put out Dig Outlaw's link to his channel in the thing for him.
Well, thank you, DJ. If Adega's not going to take credit for his own work, at least somebody puts it out there for him.
Yesterday was Melbourne, and it still is kind of like, holy cow, Honstar's in here.
Honstar.
Honstar, there's no topic, but hey, if you're really, really bored, you can pop up into the stream with us, Han. And give us
I have no idea who you are, but welcome.
Honstar is the one that runs the Name That Tune game that I go on every once in a while.
Oh, the one that Gary from Rexala stole it from the accused
No. Wrong game.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. They're all guessing games.
This is actually a game where we all get up and actually play.
Oh. Son of a bitch.
That's right. Son of a bitch. I got room for 2 more people. Hansar, you can pop up if you want. GLM can pop up if she wants. I don't care. Whoever gets the last 2 slots.
Also, I'd like just to make an announcement heading off to basic training in like February 25th for the
What are
Army.
you, 17?
18.
Congratulations, Darth.
Congratulations. Remember to duck.
Yeah, and always stand in the second row so the drill sergeants don't spot me.
And always volunteer for KP duty because it's a hell of a lot better now than it used to be.
You know what? I was raised by a DI. Guess what I learned to do quite often?
What?
Duck.
I just can't wait. It's actually, I'm really pumped for it.
And remember, when you leave the gas booth, once they give you the old gassing, don't run
Breathe
straight.
out, not in.
Never run straight. Go left or right. Never run straight.
And breathe out, not in.
Hello,
Okay.
Hunstar.
Hello, everyone.
down. Everybody. Move in and move out.
How you doing, Han?
You know what? We talked last night, right? Sci-fi.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'll get there eventually.
Han,
When
drunk at night, so
when somebody was freaking out.
Yes, I did. That wasn't last night. That's the night before, though.
Oh, was it?
last night you had the hot date, Han. I mean,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Twitter
you're right.
about.
You're right. It was the night before. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I forgot yesterday was New Year's Eve and I was not on YouTube.
No, you were on Twitter rubbing it in about your hot date you were out on. And I had to make the comment,
hot
how'd you get so lucky?
How did Han have a date?
I know. Look at this dude. He's over there getting all these hot dates. I'm at home. WTF, me.
I've been paying for this date for 22 years, so it
You've been
definitely
paying for
wasn't
me
free.
for 22 years.
Yeah, I've been.
Now, does she at least put out? Because if she ain't, that you did something wrong.
Sci-fi
Oh, yeah.
is married
Yeah.
to her, you dink.
See, that's my whole
that
point.
doesn't-
I mean, it doesn't matter if you get them on the side of a corner or you date them. You're paying for it either way. So what the hell?
Either way. Yeah, you're still paying for it.
And it's just like all these Christians, and I'm sorry if I offend Christians in here tonight. I'm sorry. I grew up in a Lutheran church. I took catechism. All right. So I grew up in the Christian faith lifestyle. But what the hell is the sense of not having sex with a woman until you get married? Don't you never buy a car unless you test drive it?
All right, behave. GLM is in
Those
here.
are
with us. You
guidelines,
behave,
not a
Sci-Fi
rule.
Nation.
If you're a Catholic, you understand that.
Actually, though, buddy, yeah, you test
I'm
drive
offended.
a car.
See? You just offended the female.
No
Well,
one cares
you
who's
just-
offended.
Hey,
You can test drive a car.
I grew up,
You can
as
test
a
drive a
Lutheran.
car. It's a mechanical
I grew up as a
device.
Lutheran. We
Yeah.
had everything except sit, stand, kneel.
No offense, but sex gets better over time. Okay, driving a car does not get better over time. The more you drive a car, the more likely it's going to tear apart.
Yeah, but at least
Just saying.
when you buy it.
It depends on the car that you marry, whether it gets better over time or not. That's why you definitely have to meet the mother-in-law well before marriage to see how the car is going to hold up.
That's why you look at the mother-in-law before you decide to put a ring on the finger.
Yeah.
GLM, you have my permission to just tear them apart.
Yeah. Hey, I tried.
What did I
GLM,
walk into?
GLM.
What's up?
We've been waiting for you.
I've been looking for you guys.
Let's see.
I'm
I know.
looking for you
I know
guys.
Captain Cat. I don't know Darth Kilhoun. Nice to meet you. And I
Yes,
don't
nice to
know.
meet you too.
This sounds bad to say it this way, but I don't know God loves me. Even though,
GLM, what's the name of your other channel, GLM? Help me if you can.
Help me if you can. Yeah. That's my other
GLM is a
channel.
great YouTuber.
I'm subscribed to both of them, so go ahead, rip us all new ones, GLM. You're more than welcome to.
For what? What
Be
has
yourselves.
happened? What did I miss?
In the house.
I don't know. DJ said that you had to rip us new ones.
I gave her permission if she wanted to rip y'all new ones if you got out of line.
Will I
She is
reserve that
female.
right? I will do so.
DJ's talking about me and how I said I didn't care.
I think it's not about me, but yeah, all right. Welcome, Night Breeze.
Night Breeze. Been waiting for you.
She doesn't-
You
she
guys
doesn't
go. There's
play
a link
that.
to my other channel.
It's still creepy as fuck, but I love it.
So, Han, how's things looking for
How would it be creepy?
the big
It's
competition?
just the way you say it.
what was that, DJ?
How's things looking for the big competition after the first?
It looks like I've talked to pretty much everybody, and it looks like the first show is the 12th of this year, I think. Yeah. So
We're gonna plug that. Get more viewers in there.
yeah, the 12th. The 12th is going to be the season 1 finale tournament of champions to name the ultimate champion of the first season of Name That Tune.
Which I am not a part of because I was only a champion of a second-rate '80s edition.
Yeah, you were champion of a special edition, and that didn't count.
Yeah, a short bus special, I think.
We already had our 4 champions. So it's
Thomas Potts seems to think I'm the troublemaker, and GLM looks like she's agreeing.
Ensign Ricky is in the house.
I said Thomas Potts calls me the troublemaker. I think Thomas Potts is fake news.
you got a Biden. One of the Bidens has showed up.
We got a Biden in here. Can't there
Hey,
now.
hey, hands in the pockets, Biden.
That's the Biden dirty though. He can keep his hands out.
Well, he might have changed his name though too. It ain't that hard to figure out.
There's
Yeah,
multiple.
I saw Biden touch earlier on Mary's stream.
I saw Biden touch just a little bit ago in God Loves Me stream.
And the thing is, he ain't even smart enough to change his damn profile picture.
No, he's just letting you know it's the same person.
Exactly.
Oh,
Hands in the
Biden.
pocket, Biden.
We know who you really are.
I'm also ignorant to this Biden. Are we talking about Joe Biden?
No
Yeah.
sniffing
I don't
here.
think it's the same one.
No sniffing here, Biden.
No, all the
As long as it ain't
Bidens,
Joe, I don't care.
all the Bidens are controlled. I'm 99% sure by the same person, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
I know who they're controlled by.
Controlled by the Clintons.
By the
Just don't get on the wrong side of them.
They're not different. You're just drunk. That's why you
No,
see.
they are a little different. You just got to be able to look better, you dink.
Okay, they are different because, I mean, really, seriously, who the hell does shit like that? Goddamn. Step out here
Because
with
they
that.
like little black kids touching
I
their
gotta
hairy
wash
legs
my
in the
mouth.
pool.
Hey, we're not doing that shit.
Yeah, I gotta watch my mouth now. I got GLM in the stream. Son of a bitch.
What are we saying about little black kids?
I'm
No, say
talking
what
about
you're
Joe
saying about
Biden
little
and
black
his
kids,
comments
what?
about it.
Living in the ghetto streets.
Joe Biden said that.
Been like-
It was weird.
Yeah, it was kind of freaky.
Well,
Because
Joe
it was, it's
Biden-
so,
Joe Biden is
people
older
record-
than hell, and he don't know what the hell he's talking about, and he just rambles on.
Now you got-
Wait. Did DJ just say a boot?
but no, seriously, DJ, you did not hear what Biden said about the kids
Well, I just don't try to talk about that shit on here because some things are better left unsaid.
This is
Okay.
not this is not NA Trekker's other channel, and we
Well,
do not have
all I
spare
was gonna
channels to talk about that.
Yeah, all I was gonna say is look it up on YouTube if you never saw it.
Yeah, just
This is not a political channel, people. This is a have fun, sci-fi, how you doing kind of channel. You're on the odd one channel, so let's get odd.
Well, you know, odd is odd.
I feel odd.
I
I
am.
like them when they're odd. I like the odds when they're odd.
Just, you know, DJ's DJ.
There's only some things that can happen on this channel and this channel alone. And one of them is this.
The vacuum.
No,
What's that sound in
no,
here?
that no.
Joe Dirt.
I'm about to launch a crusade.
Oh, Jesus.
DJ, did you see my Afro pic?
You forgot the
No,
porn
I
stash.
missed the Afro pick.
You forgot the porn
Who's got an
stash.
Afro pick?
All right, let me go. Let me get it for you. I put it on. Twitter. I picked up.
You still forgot the porn stash, DJ. That's you're getting a unicorn.
No, he
suit
didn't
that
forget
shoots
it.
rainbow
Don't.
beams out of its arse. That's all there is to it.
No, that whole thing just popped out better after the hair was dyed at that one point. It's faded out now, so you can't see it.
Yeah, see, his gray popped out of the stash. That's why you can't see it.
And see, there's Biden Dirty and Biden Touch. The pictures are slightly different.
No, I don't care which Biden it is. Keep your hands in your pockets, you fool.
And no, Josh Street, I do not have a furry fetish.
You are a furry. That's why you don't have a fetish.
Oh, that is a nice little fro. That's kind of like the hell, Beyonce, or was it Beyonce that was in Austin Powers?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
Wait,
she had the
is
had
that-
the
is
fro.
that-
Yeah,
That's what
Is that
that
you,
looks like.
GLM, or is that a 3D Barbie?
No, that was her.
Oh,
Be respectful.
well, I was looking at the little Afro.
Ain't no Barbie about me.
Oh, there you are. Now I see a real.
I have,
No.
I have a brother of mine. He's a brother from another mother. We used to be roommates, and he was black, but he had long hair. So, but he was skinny.
You was what?
Yeah, I mean, well, he had an afro like that, but he was real skinny. I mean, he's like 100 pounds.
Well, he had an Afro. All right.
And I had hired a woman to come by and clean up because I was working 2 jobs. He was working. So I didn't tell her that I had a roommate. Now, she was an older white lady. And so she's going around cleaning up. And all she saw was his hair asleep, you know, moving around in the bed, just a big black hair. And she screamed bloody murder because she thought it was a wild edible.
Did he want some of that gilf?
Do what?
Did he want some of that gilf?
No, she was like 60 years old.
Exactly,
Captain
gilf.
Redneck's in the house.
But no, she just screamed bloody murder because she didn't know. She
We've been
thought it was
waiting
a wild
for
animal.
you.
That's kind of sexy but creepy at the same time, GLM. I don't care. I've been waiting for you.
How was that sexy?
Thank you, Richie. He says nice fro.
It's you got
It wasn't
Hey,
intended to be
beautiful
sexy.
hair.
It was intended to be
Hey.
factual.
June Wong, 69 is even better because you can go all the way without turning around.
Politics is banned,
Right.
but not this.
oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, Captain Redneck. Seriously?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
no way.
you can.
Yes, Captain Redneck pops in here every once in a while.
Hey, can we get the Captain Redneck super chat video up in here?
No, I don't have super chats. Hello, Julian
I know
Wong.
it. I know it, but how much did he donate to AT to get his own almost $100 super chat video? That's what the hell I want to know.
Wait, what?
The Captain Redneck super chat video, you got to pay like $50 for an anti-tracker to play.
Huh. Well, that's just extortion at that point.
What the hell did Captain Redneck do to AT to make it a $50 freaking super chat?
But yeah, but he gets it every time he walks in it. Redneck is on the bridge.
Oh, is it 25, Thomas? Okay. See, you know me. I'm just a redneck from Michigan. I double everything for the inflation.
Well, technically, Captain Redneck did try to pay for another super chat to be made, and it never did get made. And it was supposed to be a debate between AOC and Bird of Prey 5, and I was supposed to be the moderator.
Well, see, then that's on the Scarved Insect because he's the one that does all the animation for Antitrack.
I don't know. I think that'd be just a crime against humanity at that point, getting Bird and AOC in one room.
And no, it wasn't an animated. It wasn't an animated one either. It was supposed to be all live action because I was supposed to be in the bunny suit doing the moderation.
You heard it here first, folks. DJ was supposed to be in on the shenanigans.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump off. I just wanted to come on and say hello to everybody, but I earlier, so I'm gonna go lay down.
Everybody,
but I'll be in the chat
God
till I fall
loves me,
asleep.
'cause he
Okay.
does-
All right, God.
God loves me.
I love you.
He does some great stuff.
Nice to meet you.
God loves you. God loves you.
Love you guys. Nice to meet you. I'll be in the chat.
All right.
Even if your intro when people come into your chat is creepy,
I
we
love
still
you guys.
you, girl.
All right. Talk to you in this chat, GLM.
Not creepy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We've
I'll be
been
waiting
for you. Oh my god, are you serious?
And we got Ensign Ricky back up.
We love you, GLM. Don't let us scare you away.
Take care, girl.
Somebody else I've never met. Hello, Ensign Ricky.
I've heard about you, but I haven't met you.
I'm just sorry.
How's it going?
I don't know.
Ensign
All right,
Ricky.
playing some Halo Reach.
Howdy, bud.
Pretty good.
Well, hello, Instant Ricky.
Making a
How
video.
are you doing? Man, I actually love your videos.
Yeah, thank
Somebody
you.
else we gotta subscribe to, son of a bitch. Put your put something in the chat there, Ensign Ricky, so I can go and check out the channel.
Yeah, Tubi, and I'll agree with you on that one too. Shh, don't tell her.
Let me pull it up.
Yes, Adega, I looked it up and I'm making a video about it.
But no, I actually like Captain Redneck on occasion.
Captain Redneck thinks we're drunk. What the hell? We're not drunk. Well, at least I'm not. Sci-Fi Nation is, but
I haven't been drunk in almost 20 years.
I am not.
No, it'll be 20 years from the 8th.
New Year's Eve is I had weed candy and I ain't had none of that tonight. I am perfectly goddamn sober.
hey, I got to laugh about this. So now it's legal in Illinois to go buy your weed,
Sure is.
but they've taxed it so damn high that everybody's on social media saying, the hell with it, we're still buying it from our local dealers.
Well, that's just stimulating the economy at that point.
Well, why do you think they make it legal for?
You know what they say about people that assume, don't you? What the word assume means? You make an ass out of you and me. So there you go.
Somebody threw up a receipt for what they went and spent, and they spent over $240 just for 4 little things.
I don't spend shit. My boss makes enough money at the store. He pays for my shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I threw my web thing in the
Yeah,
private thing over here.
they're not going to make it legal just for fun.
Well, type
They're making
something
it
into
legal
the
to make
main
it.
chat, Ensign Ricky. I'm gonna give you a wrench.
Captain Redneck
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
says. Captain
And then you
Redneck
can
says
throw
he's
it
my
out there.
brother. I'm gonna take that as a compliment, Captain Redneck. I think. Well, by in touch, you got blue waffles because you touched it early. So, yeah.
Pawnstar's
Heather will
being,
do that to you.
Pawnstar's being asked if he liked the Rise of Skywalker.
Haha. Haha.
I mean, it was a movie.
That's about all we can say.
It was a movie.
It was a movie.
Should have been like 3 movies, but it was a movie.
So
Josh
Rick-
says Josh said you weren't in your recliner. You're just mad you can't go back to your furry.
My biggest problem with the Rise of Skywalker was I thought it didn't flow correctly. It was like too chopped up.
Well,
Never
that's
seen
because I tried to fit like the plot of 3 movies into one, and
Yeah,
that's why it
it's-
failed.
Yeah, it was like a scene, and then all of a sudden it was something. That's like that's a whole different fucking story. How are you putting all this together in a movie? That
You
you know,
don't. You're supposed to chop it up because it's like
OMG. OMG. OMG, DJ. GLM was drunk. Now she's just tired of shit.
Well, yeah, that's what
I
happened.
could get into the details about like how to properly write that series, which I would have probably started with like, I don't know, have The Force Awakens be the same, but then have like subtly like mention that Palpatine might be alive in the second movie and hint to his return, and then have him return in the third movie instead of just out of the blue. They could have done that, and it would have been much better.
Biden, you're disturbing. I'd rather have GLM touch me than you any day of the week, you weird ass.
I'm pretty sure that God Loves Me doesn't need to Google boy butter.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sure she don't either.
Somebody said put syrup on it with boy butter, and she said, "What's boy butter?" And they said,
Oh
"Oh,
my
just
God.
Google it." I'm pretty sure you don't need to Google that.
Yeah,
Just like
if you ever came up Catholic, you have no reason to Google boy butter.
just like she had to Google blue waffles earlier.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
that's another one she shouldn't have. She shouldn't have Googled.
Yeah. Oof.
Jesus.
And
Now,
Ricky
Ensign
was,
Ricky.
yeah,
At
he
that
was.
point,
Oh, there he is. I
God
was gonna say he
forbid
was
in
so
our
upset he
society.
left.
No, my internet dipped.
Yeah, she found out what blue waffles meant earlier.
Oh Jesus!
I don't
Hey,
even know
sure,
what
sure.
people think.
And I still say that getting kicked in the nuts hurts worse than childbirth.
Well, then obviously you never been with Sister Prairie, have you? God damn it! I just proved everybody's point. Son of a bitch.
Hey, Showmaker, how are you doing?
I've never given birth, so I can't compare the two.
Greetings, show.
Yeah, we're,
From what I
we're
heard-
dudes. We're supposed to
from
go
what I
out
heard,
and
being
fight
with
in the
Sister Prairie-
battlefield. Women give the birth.
From what I heard, being with Sister Prairie is like giving birth. So
That's not nice. So don't be talking about
I'm
Sister
trying to
Hey,
go in your
hey,
defense here.
Hey,
Son of a bitch.
don't try and
No.
pretend that Anakin's birth was an immaculate conception. Okay, don't try.
Okay, maybe his, but not Sister Praise. You are the
It's like,
Yeah.
who's his father? We don't talk. I don't know. I just got
I
pregnant.
swear, if they just made it some like random smuggler that was going through town, I would accept that more than anything else.
I do need to say hello to Sean Murray though. How you doing, bud? Nice to see you from across the pond.
One more.
Plot
All
twist,
right. I'll admit it. I'm Anakin's father.
right? You know,
Yeah, you were that
Yoda,
smuggler.
Yoda is actually
You
Anakin's father.
No, he
Yoda
wishes he
couldn't
was
get up that
Sister
high. What are
Baby.
you talking about?
It was
No,
Yoda.
Ricky,
it was
I was
Yoda's
not
ill-begotten son.
No, it was Mace.
Richie Poole wants to know if you're telling us that you used to be a woman, DJ.
No, I've not been a woman.
Well, you were comparing childbirth and getting kicked in the balls, so I think they're
Well, because
assuming that you've
women
done
have
both.
told me what it feels like for childbirth.
That
Getting kicked in the balls is definitely worse than what they explained.
that
Yes.
wig gives us other impressions.
Yes, but you do wear pink bunny suits.
Oh, shut up.
Well, the one thing I will say the difference is nobody gives you an epidural before they kick you in the balls. My wife had an epidural before she had my kids, so she didn't
Not
feel all that shit.
Not every woman has epidural, man.
Yeah,
Epidural.
Women
yeah.
are allergic to it.
What? Screw that new school shit. Give them an interthecal.
The what the?
You never heard of the interthecal? That's what they used to use before the epidural.
Give them the Thorazine.
No, interthecal. They shoot it right up the back of your spine, and it numbs your entire freaking body.
Epidermal?
No, interthecal.
I've
It's
never
what
heard
they
of
used to
it.
use before the epidural.
Yeah, but Han is right. They don't give you an epidural or any painkiller before they decide to kick you.
Yeah, it's just randomly. It's not like you plan it weeks ahead of time like a birth. Some douche just shows up one day and fucking kicks you in the nuts with a pair of boots.
Yeah. Night Breeze explains it the best. After giving birth, women are willing to have another one. Guys don't want to be kicked in the balls again.
I tell you,
Yeah,
I seen something that made getting kicked in the nuts look like child's play. I seen my first daughter born naturally, where they had to slit her mom's pootie between
an
between the
episiotomy.
pootie and the butthole. Okay, they'd like slice it halfway down for a natural birth. And then I seen my second daughter born on a C-section where they had to like take this big old knife out and slice her belly open and pull all the skin back. And I was trying peeking over the goddamn sheets and shit. And they're like, sit down. I'm like, no, this is just cool.
Yeah, mine was C-section. And they I had to dress up in all these scrubs, and I went to the door, and I was going to walk in, and he was already born.
Glad I haven't gone through that yet.
One piece of advice I can give you. I don't know about C-sections because both my kids, neither was born C-section.
You never seen a doctor reach his hands up underneath your wife's skin and play around with her kidneys and her ovaries?
No, I've never seen that. I've just seen them come out the business end. But
I seen that too.
I will.
a lot of C-sections.
Looked at her mom and said, he was an Indian dude too. He was like fucking 5'2". Now I'm going to cut that little thing here and do this and do that. And she said, no, you ain't. I said, yeah, he is. Watch this.
All right,
What they told us, what they told me is they try not to have people in there while they're doing a C-section because they are literally moving organs out the way, and sometimes that might trigger people to attack the doctor during the operation because it's like you're triggering that
C-section. Shit.
Yeah.
Back then, this was like 2003 when I went through this. So I've been watching open heart surgery on Discovery Channel during dinner time for like 5 years since before she was born.
Well, I'm just saying, like most people, that's what they told me at the hospital. It's like they don't let you in just for the fact that they think you're going to attack the doctor because, I mean, literally they're taking organs and moving them around and to get to the baby. And some people might construe that as like you're hurting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it triggers them in a way. So, I mean, it's like, yeah. So, I mean, like,
somebody else's hands up in somebody's guts, then don't be in the room, I guess.
just saying men have a natural perspective at defending women, so I can see the logic in that because most men would rush to the defense.
Yeah, I was supposed to. I just missed it, but I had to sit behind. I couldn't be anywhere near there. There was like a viewing room I could view it from, and it was kind of far away, but it was behind glass. They wouldn't let me near the operation, but I had to dress up in scrubs and everything, and they kind of escorted me in the room. And as soon as I hit the door of the room to look in, he was already out on the table. You know what I'm saying? And then I just watched them cart him away. You know,
I ate a pizza the other night. I thought I was giving birth.
The only advice I'll give you, Darth Kilhoun, since you said you hadn't been through it yet, if it's a natural childbirth, do not look down. Stay at the top. Stay up. Hold her hand, stay up near her head, and do not look down. You
Right.
do not need to see the business end. You just need to see the baby after they
That's the
pull
best
it
won't
part. This is the best part about seeing your
No.
child. Yes, it is.
It's
I
it's
just
like,
hope it won't be an army doctor doing it.
No, it's not the best part, sci-fi, because what you use for pleasure all of a sudden is popping out a bowling ball. You don't
Yeah.
want to see that.
So you don't want to see that because you don't want to understand where the miracle of life takes place, where it actually happens at, where the business end is at.
We already know that's where it happens. We don't need
the only miracle I need to know is how I made the kid to start with.
You know what the placenta looks like?
Yeah, because that's part of what I made the mistake of looking at, and then I passed out.
What
And
a noob.
I did the whole. Well, it was my first kid, so some nurse is like doing the smelling salts and like tapping me in the face. I'm like, what the fuck's? I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And she's like, how about you get up and go sit over here?
I got past the placenta because it looked like one of those all-in-one encase coffee packs from like the 90s. Like these coffee packs used to come in this nice, neat box. You just pop it into the fucking tray of the coffee pot. You ain't got to put the filter in or not. You just pop this little pack in. You're good to go. When the afterbirth came out, I thought she was having another kid. I was like, what the hell is that shit?
Now that's what made me pass out was the afterbirth. Because
it's disgusting.
it looks like a half ground up pot roast that just all of a sudden falls out.
That's why I looked at the nurse. I thought, this is my kid's born.
It looks like puke, is what it looks like.
It's
ground up pot roast. Did you ask for bread?
No. I didn't ask for anything because all I asked for was a pillow on the floor when I passed out.
Look at that.
What?
She gave me a kid and made me a sandwich.
The funny thing is, I didn't pass out. I looked over and I looked right back at my woman. I said, "Are you hungry?" "Yep." "Okay, let's go get some tacos."
I honestly hope that the army will prepare me to see all that shit.
See, I'm already prepared because I've seen it from cows all the time. So that's a hell of a lot worse.
I'm just a redneck, so that shit don't bother me.
I know. I grew up in the concrete jungle. I did not grow up in the rural areas. Although I have a lot of relatives other than Southern Illinois that are quite rural.
I grew up in town, but there was a rural area.
I was born in the country, but I was raised in the city, so I kind of got both perspectives on everything.
You know, I've actually had to put my arm up inside the cow's hoo-ha to move the cap around to get it to come out. So,
Jesus.
We don't need to know what you do to get your jollies detailed.
no, that's definitely not a jolly.
Were you wearing?
Wait.
DJ plays with them cows all day, so you know.
Were you wearing the bunny suit at the same time?
No, I was wearing big ass rubber gloves.
Big ass rubber gloves up to his shoulders.
That's right.
Wait a minute. You have actually helped deliver.
Yes, I have.
Oh my goodness.
And once in a while, you do have to reach inside and readjust them so they will come out right.
Now, see, this is one thing I'll agree with DJ on. If you've never helped deliver a baby calf, then fuck you. Stop eating steak.
I'll still eat it.
That's unfair.
Yeah, I'll still eat it.
If you ever
Actually,
run from gunfire, then don't complain.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking gunfire for you guys, so please pay your taxes so I can get paid.
Yeah, if you ain't hearing cops firing at you, then.
Now I'm just talking about living in the city.
I didn't.
Thank you, GLM.
If you don't see the red flag behind you and you don't fucking speed up like the Energizer Bunny, hey, you ain't seen nothing.
I mean, I used to fall asleep to the loud cars and gunshots all night. And ambulance, sirens. I mean, that was every day, every night. All you hear all night are gunshots and ambulance sirens.
All I need to listen out for is Allah Akbar. If I hear that, I'm running for the bunker.
I said that in a Tricker stream tonight, guys. The first year I lived in Saginaw, Michigan, I was playing Call of Duty on New Year's Eve. It's just another day to me, so I didn't give a fuck, right? I'm sitting there playing Call of Duty, you know, bullets flying everywhere, la la, Nazis over here, blah blah. And all of a sudden it went in full 3D, and I'm like, I'm not even wearing my headphones. What the hell's going on? So I walked out my back door, and everybody except me is firing guns off into the air.
Yeah.
Well, as you see that meme, like it's like I lived pretty close to the ghetto in Chicago my whole life, and you'll see that meme where the kid walks out, like your first day in the ghetto, and the kid walks out to take out the trash. He starts hearing the gunfire, and he's like scared. And he's like running along in the wild, and it's like a week later, and the kid walks out, like looks at the trash. He hears the gunfire. He just looks over, and he's like, "Oh."
Neighbors.
Yeah, that's.
And then he
Which
walks
is-
back in the door. I'm like, oh, that's pretty much how it is. We get desensitized to that shit because it's like there was right before I left Chicago about 4 years ago, there was an instance where a dude got shot in the street and he got left there for days, and everybody thought he was a bum because they covered him up with papers and shit, and we just passed bums every day. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like,
newspapers,
no one thought about it until he started stinking. So 3 days, and cops were passing this dude. They thought he was just fucking sleeping there as a bum. And then finally he started stinking. They blipped him up and then found out that he was dead there for fucking 4 or 5 days. And everybody, fucking thousands of people must have passed him. But we just we're desensitized to it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, it's just a bum. You know what I'm saying? We're not thinking it's
an
like
everyday thing. It's
you
like,
know what I'm saying? Like, it's an everyday thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's bums. And they build these elaborate fortresses. It's crazy, especially deeper into the city where you'll see like bum fortresses. And it's like that's how they stay fucking warm in the winter. They have no choice. You know, it's just fucking cold, man. So I mean, down under the bridge, it's just nothing but cardboard boxes all melded together and like burning barrels with bums standing around. It's crazy. It really happens.
Just saying, who watched Joker here?
completely, because when I lived in Saginaw, I was like literally 3 blocks away from the so-called bad side of town. I had motherfuckers walking down my street as I'm sitting on the porch saying, "Fuck you, you." I'm like, "Come up here, bitch, or I'll come to you," and they fucking run away.
It's like where I live in Florida right now.
What do you do about it then?
I mean, it's like I live in the Panhandle of Florida right now, and if anything happens like that here, I mean, like if anybody even gets shot, not even killed, it is a big deal. Like people are like, oh, like I mean, like the whole county. It's just like, and it's just like, I mean, we kill 30 people a weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's like,
it's funny too because it's like certain parts of town is like such a big deal, but other parts of town is like today just another fucking kill.
Well, I mean, you're okay. If you're a resident,
It's sad
if you're a resident of Chicago, you know where and where not to go. I mean, like if you live there and you've been through it, you absolutely know that is the area you don't go to. So I mean, it's like if I had to go to the ghetto with my friends, my black friends, the black ghetto, I'd have to be with my black friends to be validated to be in that area.
The black card.
Well, I went to an all black high school. For 2 years of my life.
I can pull the black card because I used to date a black girl in Saginaw. We went to the club on the east side.
Yeah, I mean, I some of my best friends were black.
And we went in there. Yes, you are the first Mr. Miles. Anyways, we went to this club on the east side, and her brother was the bouncer, so I was safe there. Her daddy loved me just because, I don't know, because my dad was a Marine too, and he was a Marine. So I'm dating this black chick that loved heavy metal music and gaming consoles and gaming, which is what we did. So we're sitting there, we're hanging out, having a good time, and this old dude, he's like 6'4", he's like bird's size, except without a bed, walks up to me. "How you doing?" I looked up at him and I said, "Better than you, I got a piece of pussy to take home." Oh,
yeah. But yeah, I mean, everything is segregated to that point there. So it's like,
and I was the only white boy in that club.
Like if I have to go into the black area, like the ghetto, because I play music and I end up with a lot of musicians, black musicians. So and there's some studios in not favorable places in Chicago. But when I go into these areas, I have to be with my black friends to validate me being there. Otherwise, I am just a piece of meat. And that's really what it comes down to. It's like I was like, I'm not here. You know, it's like I'm here with like, you know, Rel and Tyrone. You know what I'm saying? Like those are my boys. You know what I'm saying? They see me with them, I'm good. If I don't have them with me, I'm a target, and that's just how it works there. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's segregated to that point, but it's like
the fact that we let society get like that in this nation is really sad, and I hate that.
Walking up in a club like that with a bunch of black dudes wearing a bunch of black clothes.
Well, the whole thing is
you listen to rap since you were like 12 years old as a white boy, and you have no idea difference why you like music, and then you walk into a club like that.
Well, I think it's the reason because we're all camped on top of each other. I mean, we have black suburbs, we have white suburbs, we have Mexican suburbs, and they're predominantly that ethnic race. So it's like, but we're so close to each other. I mean, it's like you either get along
It is, but when you start dating somebody of a different ethnicity,
shit beat out of you every day. But I mean, it's like there's a lot less open racism in Chicago, as where the South had, the riots and I mean, we have very little.
But even up here, when you start dating somebody of a different race up here, even, and you go into their ethnicity and their side of town, it's like you're still a fucking outcast because they don't know what the fuck you're about, and it's like you're an outcast.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, even in the older days, I mean, when the towns were split by like Irish or Italian, or I mean, it was the same thing.
Catholic and Lutheran.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same thing. I mean, the blacks didn't go into the Italian neighborhoods, the Italians didn't go into the black neighborhoods. But this has been, for years and years growing up in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this is 100 years of segregation that has been built into the city that we found. This area is predominantly this ethnic group. This area is predominantly this ethnic group, and it's just like that's where they are. And but it's like I said, there's a lot less open racism. There's not like KKK like propaganda anywhere.
It's subtle racism.
Yeah,
wait. Yes, this is your stream, DJ. Jesus Christ, get in here, Mr. Odd One.
But do you actually want to hear something interesting? They
Sure.
actually divide it up by boat. I'm like in North Dakota, and there are these two towns, Richardson and Taylor. Richardson is where the German Catholics went, and Taylor is where the German Lutherans went.
But South Dakota was where the gold was.
Well, I mean, my family's very Lutheran, very German Lutheran. One side of my family is German Lutheran, Hardstill. The other side is Catholic Italian. So, I mean, there's a very clashy.
But even within the same ethnicity, they will divide you.
Oh, yes. And the Lutherans are.
I didn't brought up Lutheran. I took catechism.
I mean, growing up, I didn't go to CCD like all my Catholic friends would go to. I had to go through straight like Lutheran, like stuff, and they are hard fucking core, dude. I mean, Lutheran is no fucking joke. There's no like you pay for your sins by Hail Mary, none of that. It is like
people. I got somebody that's confirming my story. Straight Lutheran is basically Catholic without sit, kneel, stand.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. When it goes, and it's a little serious on some of the other topics. But I mean, for the most part, like my family is, like I said, I was baptized Lutheran, German Lutheran. So,
Thank you. At least somebody can confirm what I've been saying.
Yeah, and it's Martin Luther. I mean, because he was the dude that like kind of changed it around. He's the one that went against the church and said, "Hey, y'all just fucking, it's a big money grab."
Did you have actual catechism classes?
No, they just sent me to like this weird Lutheran like Sunday school. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my friends went to CCD. And that's what they called it.
Up until 8th grade, then I had catechism. I had to actually complete catechism before I could take communion.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like my grandmother was a live by the book, die by the book Christian, like basically hardcore Lutheran. Her father was a pastor. So I mean, it's like I have a German study guide from Germany. Actually, it's a guide. It's from the 15 like
Mr.
right when
Miles.
start getting printed like from 1500s. But it's a German that's hard to even translate now because they don't use the language anymore. But it's a study guide. How to be a
family is very German and Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah, I mean,
Mr. Miles,
half German.
You haven't beaten nothing until you edit a video for me.
Yeah, my family is like very Catholic German, so we saw that German aspect just apply to the Catholic Church.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it is like it's a blood rivalry, is what it is. I mean, and it's like people don't even realize how serious it is until the two groups get together, and it's just like y'all are fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's why honestly, like I believed in like I don't know, diversity a few years ago, but now that I see like all these groups like just kind of like competing against each other, I'm like, well, maybe it was smarter to be divided. Because then we could actually respect each other.
I'm just not a religious person. So, I mean, it's like I don't believe in any specific religion because, I mean, there's too much bloodshed that was shed in Christianity. There's too much bloodshed in every fucking religion. You know what I'm saying? And it's like their Facebook. That was Facebook in the that era to propaganda and be like, this is how you should run. Pay me because I'm teaching you this. I don't know. I mean, it seemed like that was their Facebook back then. The church had a lot of power. Like,
you know what though? I think Anti-Churcher sent a troll because Mr. Miles is like comment.
Yeah, but I mean,
like what you're doing there, Sci-fi? Comment.
Oh,
Everybody
Mr. Miles
says
is
something.
commenting.
See, I gotta look this way to see all the comments. I got you on this monitor over here, or us.
Hog stars
Mr.
have the
Miles
same
is
face
Edit
on Mr.
Trucker's
Miles.
editor.
Yes, I see Mr. Miles.
Mr. Miles is having a
Dude, he's
conversation.
got a wrench.
Bro.
He's got a wrench.
Well, so do you.
Yeah, too.
We're
What the hell?
talking about vapes.
If you type in chat, Ensign Ricky, you're gonna see you got one too.
I just seen it just switch over when I looked over to refreshed. I was like, oh, I have a wrench now too.
Hell,
I'm playing Halo Reach, so I can't check mine.
He's saying, I'm not talking to you nerds.
My fellow vapor. Fuck you, vapes. I smoke cigarettes. Fuck off.
See, I was going to give Miles like a wrench on my channel forever.
you know, Outback. We
Edit
don't even
Trucker
know
won't
what's
even
going
give
on.
him a damn wrench, and he's his editor.
I just know every time I try to answer you, Sci-Fi Nation interrupts. But Outlaw, we don't know what's going on. We just keep rambling about one thing, and it just leads to another, and we just keep going and going and going.
I think about a-
likes me.
This
I
is
think
a
about
count.
an hour
That's-
ago. About an hour ago, Darth tried to ask if anybody had seen the Joker, and everybody interrupted him, and he hasn't got a word in since.
Oh, I haven't seen the Joker. I'm not like a big superhero guy.
Yeah,
I was gonna relate that to when we were talking about like the cities and how we get so desensitized.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that was-
Okay.
I was gonna relate it to that, like how the Joker movie show that like we live in a society and it's very sad, like how we let it get this far. And that movie really shows it, and like how people are driven to these extremes, like Joker in that movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, like the story, the whole thing behind the Joker has changed so dramatically from the first Batman, where to like he was dropped into a vat of chemicals, and then he went insane, to now that he was just a tortured bastard, growing up, and that's what made him go insane. I don't know. I mean, I think the best version is still like the Dark Knight version. I mean, I love Ledger's performance. I mean, it's horrifying, yet I mean it's not the Batman I would at that time I would take my child to see, because it's a lot darker than most of the Batman out there. But I mean, like, that was probably the best performance of Joker I've ever seen done. And
Yeah.
I've never
I
seen
enjoyed it.
Yeah, but this version of Joker, I'd say it's at least worth a watch because it's even darker, but
wow.
it's like it's more like it's a tragedy more than anything. That's the best part about it.
Well, the whole thing is like, it was a perfect time with the reemergence of clowns everywhere. I mean, it was probably the best time for the Joker to strike, to be honest with you. I mean, it's like the sequel, I mean, not even, it was, I mean, everybody's been on this clown thing lately, so.
The right-wing terrorist clowns.
Anybody remember Killer Clowns from Outer Space? What a great movie.
Oh,
I do.
yeah, that was a good movie.
What a great movie. Come on.
I rank it right up there with Jack of the Killer Tomatoes.
There you go. That's another one. That's good.
I noticed
The
that
Stuff. Remember The Stuff?
I noticed
Really
in my
hope-
area of the South, there wasn't many of those crazy clown people running around. Probably because they knew that they would just get shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's treacherous.
Oh, that's the
territory
same
down
up here in North
I
Dakota.
mean, yeah, I mean, people will shoot on sight down here on land, and that's
Yeah.
how it is. I mean, even worse, because I'm basically I'm like an hour outside of Alabama, and it's like I basically live in Lower Alabama. That's what this whole area is like, pretty much, because I'm so close. But that is very territorial. They do not give a fuck. They will shoot you if you're on their property. No fucks given. If you're not supposed to be there, don't go there. So I mean, like,
Yes, my dad lives in your general area. Then.
oh really? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in Destin, Florida. So I mean,
Oh yeah, he's just east of you. He lives in Panama City Beach.
yeah, Panama City is about 30 miles down the road. 35 miles.
Mr. Miles is a brown recluse.
But I live in Vacationville, Touristville.
Yeah, that's how he is. He bitches all summer about the tourists, and I said, well, then why did you retire to a place that tourists go every summer?
Well, you know what? The people hate it, but it's a necessary evil. I mean,
Oh
I make so much money here just because of the tourist economy. It's ridiculous to where I'm comfortable, and I'm not hurting if I go down the street and eat a burrito as a single parent. And I mean, that's I tell everybody, especially my friends in Chicago, because it's like I was a manager. I've been working for Papa John's for almost 24 years, and I was a district manager, and I ran several Papa John's. But that was when I was in Chicago, and then I had to take full custody of my child, and that just didn't pan out really well. And I couldn't do that anymore, so I had to become a single parent. And ever since then, I mean, I've been in Papa John's. I knew a lot of people, so they kind of pulled me through. And Papa John's has pretty much paid for my whole life up to this point, pretty much, or at least most of it. And out here in Destin, the tourist economy is phenomenal. I mean, there's days I make over $300 delivering pizza, and it's like I now deliver. I don't manage because I make about close to $50,000 a year delivering pizza. I don't have to worry about food, labor, employees, P&Ls, any type of that shit. I don't have to worry about it. I have to push them up. And you know what? I'm still in it because I was a manager before, so I'm in there making pizza, and it's hard work because in the summer, our store is the #1 store in the world. It's us and another store. We go back and forth, and we're popping 18 grand of pizza out the door a day in Destin, and we have people coming in from corporate to help us. It's crazy. It's a crazy operation, but it's very hard. It's a lot of hard work. But when the summer's over, the winter's easy. I mean, that's like I work 4 days a week, maybe like 32 hours a week during the winter. But in the summer, from March to October, I work 6 days a week, sometimes upwards 70 hours a week. But I mean, that's where you make your money. And as soon as, everybody leaves in the end of October, you just sit on your money and take it easy all winter until March and spring break. It starts all over again. So it's a really weird area down here because it's like, I couldn't make this money in Chicago. I would make half of what I make here in Chicago. I mean, there's nights that, people like even, what was it last night, a couple nights ago, I take one pizza to the dude's door and dude gives me $50. He's like, here. I'm like, all right, cool. Whatever. Straight. You know what I'm saying? $50. But in the summer, every order is like 10, 15 pizzas at a time. So I'm getting like 20. There's times I take my first delivery, I'm over $100. And I mean, there's times that I've come close to $400 for delivering pizza in one night. And that is almost unheard of. I've never come close to any other place I've ever worked at to even close to 300, much less close to 400, I mean, but it's just how this economy works. And there's bartenders and waitresses on the resort where I'm at that make 70, 80 plus a year, and tips. It's amazing. This area is really, really, really unique. It is.
Yeah, my dad. Well, so my dad's retired. He doesn't work, but he has some younger friends like that. Like this one woman he knows. She works at like one of the fancier, restaurants, and she only works the summertime. That's it, and she banks all of her money in the summer.
70K a year. Ain't got no strip clubs on there.
I think Ensign Ricky.
No, that's our food.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Oh,
I'll be back in a second. Yeah, I mean, my internet's dipping in and out for some reason. I don't know.
And then I live in the area where the tourist industry does not exist. Like there's nothing attracting people to this state.
It exists. Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's waitresses and bartenders down here in the resort that make close to $100,000 a year, and it's mostly tips. And I mean, like I make about 30 in cash and I make about 20 on paper. So, I mean, and it works out for me because I'm a single parent and it works in my favor, and I still get to do what I like to because I love making pizza. It's something I've been doing my whole life. It's easy. I go there, I can dominate. There's nothing there that could go wrong that I can't fix. And so, I mean, and in the summer, it's a crazy operation. It is. I mean, we have to overcome technical difficulties that we have in the store. Like our walk-in's not big enough to sell all the food that we sell on just Saturday. So, I mean, like we're bringing, as the drivers are coming in on that Saturday, say the Saturday of 4th of July, around that area. July is our biggest month. But drivers are coming in from other stores to help with like trays of dough and pepperoni and sausage just to make that day because we don't have the space to hold it. You know what I'm saying? And all that shit will be made that day and sent out the door. And it's crazy. I mean, it really is a crazy operation, but it's a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? I could be doing way worse things for the money I make. I mean, and I tell anybody who wanted to change, and I play music as well. And I'm in an area where I can just pull up on the beach, sing Nickelback, and make $200 an hour.
You lost me at Nickelback.
Well, I'm glad you can do that. I live in an area where we don't have those opportunities. Like either you're in the oil industry or go join the military.
Oh, wow. Yeah, all our area is very heavy military too. So, I mean, we have two huge Air Force bases, Eglin and Herbert Field. So, I mean, we have military discounts everywhere. This is a very huge military area. My kid's school was 90% military kids. So, I mean,
Yeah. Well, for us, it's more join the military and get out. Like, I just enlisted like last month. No, actually 2 months ago now, since it's November, and I'm heading off to basic in February.
What branch you going?
Army.
Okay, yeah. But you said that, yeah, that's all the Air Force people come back here and retire. That's just how it is. It's funny because they get here, posted here once, and they see how it is, and then they just come back and buy a house later when they're done. And I've met so many retired dudes that just, yep, I put in my service and just came back. Loved the area so much that, but it's a very low key area, man. So, I mean, it's like I said, if you are, it's very easy to make it here without education, any of that. I mean, you don't even need anything. All you got to do is like learn how to deliver pizzas, wait tables, bartend, and you'll have a very crazy good life here. But I mean, it's very easy to make it here.
Don't leave it to me to interrupt, but it's kind of my thing. I kind of got to acknowledge Mr. Miles here. My daddy was a Marine. I feel like I was in boot camp whenever he was around. I've had plenty of military. Well, you know what, Mr. Miles? My daddy was a drill instructor. So the first 18 years of my life was being a boot. My house was the camp. So okay. I feel what you're saying.
Well, like Shomer is saying, like Europe doesn't tip because all their tips are included pretty much in the bill and stuff like that. And that's true. When I went to Amsterdam, no, there's no tipping of any kind because those servers get paid a decent wage. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a complete different thing there when I was over there.
Yeah, the buzzword is they get paid a living wage. That's
according to Americans that view it that way, but in reality, if you look at all of it, all the taxes that are taken out,
it depends on if you got bosses like my old boss that takes the actual tips from the servers every night, which happens. I can show it to you in the 4 different restaurants he owns right here in this town. They do not get paid dick.
Well, who had that one for that? Was it Graham? One of the big 3 on Celebrity Chefs. That Gordon Ramsay's restaurant was awesome. Like Gordon Ramsay, straight out, they said he was the best boss to work for, and you got all your tips. But his 2 friends that were on like Master Chef or whatever, the 2 Joe and the other dude, Graham or something. I guess they were stealing from their employees, like the waitresses and waiters, their tips and stuff like that. And that was a big thing, and they got busted for it. So, I mean,
Mr. Miles, one of the things we believe in is tipping our servers.
Absolutely.
You're a goddamn Marine.
I work for tips. I tip the shit out of people. I mean, if I go to haircut, it's like $20.
Yeah,
$15.
What I was talking about, I was being raised by a Marine drill instructor as a Marine boot. I was the literal boot in the boot camp for 18 years of my life. That's what Mr. Miles said. His dad was a Marine Corps officer, or at least somebody that had served in that branch of the service. So Mr. Miles actually has something in common with me, believe it or not. Because if you're brought up and raised that way, you got a different way of looking at shit.
See, that's why Miles says he tips his bartender.
That's right.
I tip mine 20% at least.
But as a former bartender, male bartenders get a hell of a lot less in tips than the women do.
I wonder why.
Oh, do our female peach drivers fucking
kill
it?
I don't
they make more than I do.
Haircutting places, so I wouldn't know about that.
you should have wore a push-up bra, DJ.
For real.
That would have helped.
Like I said, even our female drivers rake it in, dude. They make more than we do. We have a couple of girls that look fucking phenomenal, dude. I mean, like supermodel, like, and they get money. People just throw fucking money at them, dude. I mean, it's like, seriously, it's crazy. It works. I mean, it's true though. It's 100% true. Females get better.
That's funny.
But you were talking about Gordon Ramsay in Arkansas.
Who the hell cares about that British son bitch?
Dude, I guess, like I said, out of the tipping scandal that everybody got busted for, he was the only one that didn't do it. So I mean, he was like legit, and the other 2 got
in Arkansas. It varies by state to state, but I worked in a restaurant for 20 years. Our law, the waitresses, the owner of the restaurant does not have to allow the waitresses to have their tips. All they have to do Okay, we've got 2 minimum wages in Arkansas.
GLM got drunk.
Hang on. The waitresses, the servers have a minimum wage of like $3.50 an hour. Now, you're required by law to make sure that they get paid at least minimum wage or $1 or $2, whatever you've agreed to pay them. So, but it only has to have $3 and some odd cents coming out of your pocket or out of the business. The rest of it can be made up with tips. But once they reach that certain amount, whatever happens to that other one, the owner can keep it by law.
So
I don't doubt it.
Arkansas just hate the workers or something?
Yeah, every state's different, and they have their regulations. And
Yes.
in Florida, it's like if the servers are not making enough, the employer has to make up the difference.
Yes.
That's how they do it in Florida. So, but I mean, we make a ridiculous amount.
Yes.
If you work in a coastal town, or you work in any one of these little vacation spots along the coast, dude, you're fucking gonna make money. I mean, doing no matter what, you'll make money. You know,
Now, the way my boss did it, though, he didn't care what you made. All he wanted to do was make sure that he told him that he at the time it was like $2 an hour for a minimum wage. So he'd pay him like $80 a week for 40 hours or whatever it was. And he told him that y'all could keep your money, y'all split it, y'all do whatever y'all have to do. But he was going to put down minimum wage on your taxes. So on their W-2s, they got a full, $6 an hour, whatever it was.
yeah.
But he only paid them $2, but they made plenty of money in tips. I mean, they ended up making like $15 an hour back when, minimum wage was like $5-6 an hour. So
Yeah.
they didn't care.
I'm just glad I don't work in the service industry in any capacity.
You know what? I mean, I liked both managing, and I liked multi-unit management. I mean, that was fun. But I mean, like, it's not that bad. I mean, food industry sucks to get with. I mean, it's hard work. It's never easy. Shit always goes fucking wrong, and you got to deal with the most insane customers fucking ever. But I mean, that's just coming part with the job.
Oh, I know that with retail.
Retail's the same way because, like I said, I used to work at Sbarro in a mall, and a long time ago as like a part-time job. And you would get into like a high-class mall in Chicago, and you would get people like you wouldn't even fucking believe, like, holy shit, like these people are elite rich coming to get a slice of pizza, and they're just like complaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, just take your pizza and go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But you would get, I mean, like, they're just like over the top sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh. But it comes with the food service, you know what I'm saying? And like, we're no exception. But I mean, it's just the way our area is set up. Everybody comes at once, and then they all leave and go home, and then there's no one here for 3 months. So
Most bosses don't care what waitresses make. It's just, not everyone's going to be like those Gordon Ramsay's friends. I've actually never met in my 20 years of being in food service. I never met a guy like that. They always took it. As long as you covered their taxes and covered their paperwork, they didn't care what you did with your money. They're not like those guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it should be. I mean, no one should really fucking tell you what you're going to do with your own money. I mean, like,
yeah, I don't know why the law says that you could. I mean, it's like that's the most dumbest law I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot more retarded laws throughout the states that, I mean, we're still working on laws from 200 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, and some of them like need to be updated. So the whole thing needs to fucking be relooked. Yeah, I don't know. It's we just live in that type of fucking world where it's just like everybody's just out to get money and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's what the world fucking revolves around until the hackers do whatever they're gonna do. Fire sale. I don't know. Yeah, I think the next big war is not going to be biological. It's not going to be nuclear. It's going to be internet. That's good.
It's probably going to be a combination of economic and
Digital. It's going to be
intelligence.
Yeah, I bet it's going to be 100% digital. The next huge war, and it's
As a guy who's going to be fighting that war, yeah.
I mean, it's just like hackers are getting. I mean, you make something, they're going to break it. That's just the natural order of things. You know, it doesn't matter when or why. You know, people are just going to just be like, hey, if it's there, I'm going to break through it. And then you got to figure the government employs a bunch of people that are super smart, and you got to figure the criminal world employs a bunch of people that are super smart. So I mean, it's
you're right.
I mean, you already have China and North Korea that have huge sections of the military totally dedicated to just that.
Look at Russia.
Oh, we do.
Russia.
Russia's got some of the best hackers in the world. Yeah, I'm saying
every nation does. In fact, like we actually have the best, but we aren't willing to admit it because all these other nations can do it with way less people.
Yeah. But I say, like, the big threat is Russia. I mean, there's a lot of fucking, even in the video games, dude. Like, I'll play like PUBG and all these other games, and it's one of two people: they're Russians or Chinese. That's it. That are coming in the games, hacking and doing what they're going to do, running scripts and shit. They're either Russian or Chinese.
Well, that's because their languages are more mathematical, which gives them higher intelligence when it comes to computer science. Unlike us, where we're a very formulaic language, unlike a mathematic language.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, at the speed you transfer information is the speed you learn. So, I mean,
yeah, and that's why
if you can take it in faster, you're going to have an advantage.
Why are Germans better at industry, mechanics, and engineering? It's because their language essentially is that. There's correlation between language and intelligence between most peoples.
Japanese?
Yeah, Japanese, they're also very mathematical-based language. So that's why East Asians in general have very mathematical-based languages. That's why they tend to be better in those fields.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It makes complete sense.
And also over time, it actually gets embedded in genetics because oftentimes the most intelligence spread on their DNA, and that kind of gets inbred in society over generations.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Notifications. Let's
Talking about intelligence.
with the premiere. No, let's see. How the hell are y'all doing?
Skynet.
Skynet. Fuck Skynet.
Oh, it's Google
great.
eventually. Google eventually is going to change their name to Skynet. It's just
Google
a matter of time.
Google can go Google themselves. They can go Google themselves under a goddamn carpet in a Afghan for all I care.
Well, GLM, they're basically talking about how certain groups of people are smarter at computer hacking and such than others are.
I've been doing that since the 80s. That don't mean shit.
Yeah, and more are mechanically minded, like you were talking about.
That's kind of
The Germans.
Yeah, like German technology, Swiss technology.
Yeah, that's because they're all a bunch of Germans, and their language helps them, gives them an advantage in those fields. What?
I think he took exception to that.
I like Taylor Swift.
Oh, no.
Taylor Swift.
German descent. I've been working with computers since the goddamn 70s. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
of course, there's outliers to the rules.
the only reason I got into computers was EverQuest 1.
Yeah,
That was the game that brought me to the computer, the PC
Would you
side.
know how to install 30-pin memory with a Razer card?
God, but I
Hey,
mean,
I
like,
love trash. Hey, trash 80s.
building a computer from 1997 to now is night and day, dude. I remember building cases back then where I had to bend, snip, break shit to get it to work because nothing was fucking compatible. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
You have to park the heads on the hard drive.
oh, retarded. And then the all IDE drive,
That's how we used to do it.
the big ass
AutoCAD
IDEs.
1.0. That's the shit I used to work with.
Yeah,
It's retarded. That's the shit I worked with.
I don't know. I mean, that's the old school, but now it's like all plug and play. You get
Exactly. That's how old school I came from.
But I mean, that's how building a computer in '97 was for me. It was just like I had to snip this to make the hard drive work. I had to bend this to make the power supply fit in. I mean, because
you don't know how to park the heads on the hard drive.
What's
Get
up?
the fuck out of here.
No, I started when there was only IDE drives, but all the big ass film. It was like a thing like this, huge strip. But
Did you ever remember hard cards?
What's
You're
up?
trying to tell me you know how to fucking work on computer? No.
Did you ever remember hard cards?
I built all 3 of these. I've been building my computers for 20 years. Which one?
It's called a hard card. The very first hard drives, other than the big external big ones for the trash 80s. PCs,
I had
they
tape
were-
drive. Yeah, the big cylinder over here and the big cylinder over there.
Yeah, that's before
Sure.
my time in computers. I mean, I got into computers late 90s, like 96, 97. That's when I started building. I was like, as soon as I built it for EverQuest and Counter-Strike Source. Well, not Source, but 1.6.
But yeah, you're a computer expert. Okay. Yep.
I used to.
I mean, like you guys were like, the baddest chip on the market is this. When I just told you, no, it's not. I can tell you what the baddest chips on the market are and how much they cost.
Crimson Barbie's tits. Why the fuck would you do that?
I mean, like you're like, I forgot what fucking processor you said, but I mean, like the Threadripper. You're like, no, the Threadripper is not. The Threadripper is the top fucking chip right now.
Red River is a goddamn tobacco.
The 32 core 64 thread Threadripper is the top shit right now. It beats and smashes out the water anything Intel has right now by double in some tests. Now
Taylor
AMD,
Swift is nuts. What the fuck?
that Threadripper is $2,100. That is the top badass CPU.
You ever design something in AutoCAD 1.0? Because if you ain't, get the fuck out of my chat.
I don't have to use AutoCAD.
I have. So if you haven't and you don't know how to design shit in this day and age,
that has nothing to do with computer processing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, I could tell you what to build to use AutoCAD. I know what the parts
That's
you need.
it. That's all you need to worry about.
And I tell you that the 32 core 64 thread Threadripper right now will handle all your AutoCAD needs because there's already people on Newegg that have made comments. There's already people on YouTube and the Newegg that have made comments on how they're using this chip over the Xeons.
It's like pipe tobacco.
Over the Xeons to fucking do their AutoCAD, and it's destroying everything Intel has.
See, I don't.
And then you would get a Quadro, you would get a Quadro FX card, not a 2080 Ti, because the Quadro series is what you use for AutoCAD and all those other technical programs.
What don't you have, Honstar?
Blonde Star?
Blonde Star.
Transactional.
I got a.
What?
I don't have one as great as you're talking about, but I got a 3rd gen Ryzen 9 3900X, 12 cores, 24 threads.
No, that's a great chip, dude. I mean, the only one above that's a 3950. You know what I'm saying? And that's for your Ryzen chips. But right now, like I said, that Threadripper that they just released like a month ago.
Red River sells pipe tobacco. Why the fuck you keep talking about it?
But yeah, if you have the Ryzen, the 3900, that is a great chip. It is very fast chip.
That's what's in my Linux box.
Oh yeah, I bet it shreds Linux. Holy shit!
Oh,
that's Christ.
If you look at the system monitor for anything I've done, it looks like the chip is doing nothing but idling the whole time.
Have you run any Cinebench on it or anything?
No. I'm just doing some video rendering. Bullshit like this, a bunch of tabs open. Which
I'm sure it kills it. Yeah, because those chips are so amazing for video editing. I mean, it's just like they're more because the more cores, it tears apart, Adobe. It tears apart 3D Studio, all that stuff. It just makes the renders so much faster.
So, have you ever thought about what motherboard you want for the 12-core Ryzen, 12-core Ryzen chip that's coming out?
The best Ryzen chip right now is the 3950X.
Yeah, exactly. And that chip alone costs like damn near $1,500.
$1,200. But it's the board you need for that. That's an AM4 board. So I mean that's
exactly that's the one I'm building. So,
but the Threadrippers take a TRX4 board. Those are the new ones. That's what they're called.
If anyone wants to donate to my fucking channel, links are in the description.
Yeah, I'm upgrading in February.
Get some business back into the channel.
But every February I upgrade usually because as a single parent I get the full tax check. So I upgrade my computer, my kid's computer, and that's our Christmas present for the year. So
and I don't game or anything, so I don't have a huge video card. I got an 8 gig Radeon RX 580.
Those are not bad. I mean, I have a 2080 Ti in one machine, and I have a 2080 in another machine. My kid's got a 2080. I got a 2080 Ti.
Mr. Miles, this 12 cores. I don't give a fuck what it does. It's got 12 cores, and it's going to have 256 256 gigs of RAM in it. I don't give a fuck what it's made for. It's gonna do what the fuck I want it to do. Compared to the shit nowadays,
256 gigs.
it's gonna last another 10 years. And I
I'm
don't
gonna get like the
a-
Asus double extended motherboard with extra RAM slots.
So
Yes, I am.
I got 32 gigs, and I barely ever. The most I've ever used is like a quarter of my RAM.
I have 32 in both machines, and I've never had any problems, hiccups, and it's fast as fuck. And this is an i7 99, and my kid's got an i7 4970, the Devil's Canyon.
How old is your kid?
11.
If you want to adopt, I'll be more than willing.
Mr. Miles, I'm a gamer. Art, so trust me, I'm gonna be using every asset.
No, I'm 100% a gamer too. So I mean, I use it. Or for music, music's the way to go. I mean,
I use my big box just for video editing, image editing, music. That's the main thing I got it for. Then for which I'm streaming on my good box now because we're just using this. But if I want to use OBS with green screen and all that shit, I've got a cheap, like last year refurb model with like an i5, i7, 16 gigs of RAM Windows box, just strictly for streaming. That's it.
I got two PCs and two laptops, and both the laptops are i7s. They have 16 gigs of RAM. I mean, they have 1070s in them. But my kid's got his laptop, and I got my laptop. And what I'm talking to you guys on right now is my laptop, my i7 laptop. This is my maid machine over here with all the stuff like that. But yeah, until I don't know, because I'm thinking about going to the AMD in this next February. But right now, my big concern is cooling those Threadrippers because I mean, there's not a lot out there that can cool.
In other words, you have yet to figure out how to put your water cooling, and you need to figure out how to route it through the entire system so you're actually getting the most efficient cooling out of your system.
My cases are big. The only thing I need to cool off is the
I don't
CPU.
give a fuck how big your fucking shit is. You got to know what the most efficient route is to have your cooling going through.
All my CPUs are water cooled. Everything
See,
else
mine-
ain't.
Exactly. It can be water cooled all day long, but you got to figure out the most efficient route.
I don't know. I just bought the Corsair, the best Corsair CPU cooler, the 3-fan one. My case is gigantic, and I can burn tests all day long on Cinebench and all my benchmarks. I never reached 60C.
Jesus Christ. It doesn't
See,
matter what
mine-
they say on the goddamn PC screen. What the fuck works for your home environment? That's what counts.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, my processor never gets over 60, even at full load. Stress testing for hours.
Yes, exactly. But how is your home environment set up? You got to remember, you just can't set this thing next to you on the side of a desk. You got to have it in its own separate room, especially with water cooling.
It's just how I've been doing it for years. I mean, my kid's PC. I mean, we're in one room.
Hey, Sci-Fi, how come you're so angry?
For real. I don't know.
I've been working with this shit for over 30 fucking years, and I got little fucking noobs coming up in here and tell me how to fucking work goddamn fucking computers. Nah.
Mine's
you'd
not
take
even.
the 25 series jobs
Yeah, I mean,
in
it's
the
like-
Army because there are all these expert technicians that would be telling you that stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
You got
But,
anger issues.
They're
Water
annoying as
cooling
hell.
system in the
Just-
same room you operate from. That's common fucking sense.
I'm got 4 computers in this room. There's another
Yeah.
one in the other
How
room.
hot is it?
What?
And how hot is it?
72 degrees.
Exactly.
I'm in Florida. It stays like this all day long, all night long, all year long.
And how much does your AC run up your light bill?
That's my mom, dude. Fucking, we bought this
I
house
don't give
together.
a fuck if you live off your mom. How much does it run up the light bill?
She fucking blast the AC, dude. I have my vent blocked off.
Yeah, you're living off your mom, running up the AC bill. So you don't. give a
I
fuck.
paid half for this house, so not really.
Can I just export you some like negative 50-degree weather?
My air doesn't run all the time.
The AC bill.
Oh no, my mom runs it like ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
50
She
degrees.
runs it up, so that way you're pawning it off, but yet you're the one running it up. What the fuck?
I paid
I think
for it.
Sci-Fi needs a dummy right now to
Seriously?
know out.
When I get these new AMD fucking processors, these things are gonna run like fucking
Jesus
700 watts.
Christ.
You
Nah.
think I give a fuck? I pay for it. I mean,
Get the fuck out of here when you start paying your own money.
I mean,
That's
my
you're
kid-
going to timeout for a while, Sci-Fi.
that's another.
my computer isn't water cooled, so explain that one.
Yeah, the only thing in my computer is water cooled is the CPU. I got a CPU water
My
cooled.
my CPU has a huge heat sink on it with
yeah.
like the pipes and shit, you know.
Yes.
And it's also in a custom built. I'll be the first to admit I didn't build this computer. I bought it from a company named System 76 that custom builds Linux boxes. And the whole case is designed basically where the whole entire case is a heat sink. The whole entire rack and everything's aluminum. The case on the outside's aluminum. It has a fan that pulls in from the bottom, blows out the back, and it doesn't overheat.
Yeah, I mean it's
with
very
the with the thread ripper.
Yeah, I mean it's not gonna, as long as you have a decent cooler in your CPU. I mean, if your case is big enough and you got airflow, you're good. You're fucking good, man. I mean, as long as you're not overclocking the shit, and I don't have to overclock.
Yeah, I haven't had to. Yeah, what I'm doing, I
buy
don't
the
have
best,
any
so I
need
don't
to do
overclock.
mine.
You know what I'm saying? Like I buy the best chip on the market, so I don't have to overclock it. And you know what? The resale on these is awesome because when I upgrade, I just fucking sell off my old parts, man, and I still get up to 75% what I paid for them. Because I mean, the price doesn't really go down on Intel processors. If I sell an i7, I'm only taking like $100 price hit on selling it, and people pick it up. I sold the first time I did it when I swapped over parts and I sold my old parts. I mean, within a week I had them sold. People were fucking sure, man, and I don't overclock them, so you don't put any more pressure on your system. Because the thing that sucks is sometimes you'll buy an overclocked processor, or they've had it, and you've ruined that processor if you overclock it. It's not meant to run that high for that long. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I did like you were saying. I built way more computer than I need. That way,
always build more.
I don't work the hell out of it, and I can keep it. It was expensive, but I can keep it for more and more years than I would if I bought something that just barely got the job done. You know.
Yeah, I don't. Well, that's to address that question, Miles. The overclocking thing is kind of going away. The overclocking thing, because these chips are so fucking powerful now, it's more of an enthusiast thing, and it's like more of like you do it just to get kicks than for performance, because these new processors are so fucking fast. You don't need to overclock.
To me, that was
20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that was more when like the dual cores and shit first come out, and people were trying to push them as hard as they could for games and shit.
You'll see,
yeah.
You know, and it's like that's just enthusiast to say, hey, we got it to 6 gigahertz. That's just, you know, we did it. Yeah. That's what their thing is. But practicality, you'll never fucking need that. I mean, like I have overkill for all the shit that I do. I mean, like I buy, you know, the best shit, and it runs my games all at like 100, 200 frames per second. It runs all my renders and Adobe shit, no problem. You know, low encode times and everything, you know, and it's just, there's programs that we have today that don't even utilize the full power of most games. You can utilize the full power of what the parts are today. Like my 2080 Ti doesn't even fucking break a sweat when I play games like Overwatch or, you know, Battlefield. It's just, I mean, it's come to the point where the hardware is just so much more powerful than the software.
I don't know how to overclock any of that shit. I bought my computer, it was put together, and that's it.
Yeah, there's no need. There's no need. Now it's like I said, now it's a purely enthusiast thing. You only overclock if you want to prove something. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know, the people who like cars, you know, kind of like, you know, I mean, that's same mentality. But I mean, like,
but even then it's stupid, because it's not like it was when processors were 100 megahertz or 200 megahertz, and I mean, you was trying to get 50 megahertz more.
Well, the whole thing about that, you know, that brought on the overclocking thing is people could do cheap upgrades. You can get a chip that was necessarily the same chip, but clocked lower. It's like an i7 this series versus the i7 Top Dog.
Right.
And you can overclock that small chip to the i7 Top Dog. You know, at the risk of burning out your chip a little earlier, people love the performance gain. You know, they do the same thing with their graphics cards. They overclock the shit out of their graphics cards, and you overclock the shit out of your RAM. Boom. You know, you basically have a system that you would have paid $1,000 more for. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the speeds you would have paid $1,000 more.
Can we actually talk about BIOS now?
BIOS. The old school BIOS or the UFI BIOS? UFI BIOS. UFI BIOS is awesome. I'm glad they really updated UFI.
No matter what you got or how fast your RAM clock speed is,
Is he talking in like a hallway?
Is it, I was gonna say, I was gonna say, did he like
got bad audio from time to
did
time?
he
You can't-
did he leave the room to talk?
German
Get closer to the mic.
works at.
Can't hear you. Your
Computers.
phone's fucked again.
He's done computers for 30 years and can't figure microphones out.
I got a phone that's like but here, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, we can't hear you on that damn Hello Kitty phone of yours.
No, it's the jitterbug, that old people phone that's got the real big buttons on it.
to address your Miles your question, Miles. It's you do reduce the life expectancy of your chip and you overvolt it. That's just how it works. But even like in your question with the AMD Ryzen, they sell their own overclock chip, and that's the same thing. That's why I got the 99KS, which is the overclocked version of the K, which is but it comes pre-turboed. So yeah, Intel does turbo boost their own chip. But I could have bought the K. The K was $300 cheaper, but the KS came already boosted up, so I got the KS instead. So
I'm glad I did my research, because when I built this box, I almost went i9. And
for Linux, you probably wouldn't need it.
I started looking into the AMDs because, like I said, this is mainly like a video editing rig and stuff. It's Linux. I don't game on it. It's mainly for other stuff. So I started looking into it, and they were saying that those new Threadrippers are great for like video editing and stuff like that. And it ended up being cheaper. To me, I got a better processor, and it was cheaper than buying an i9.
Well, it's true. Because the AMD right now are the kings of video editing. They are. Their processors are tearing apart Adobe, Maya, 3D Studio Max. AMD is the king right now as far as that. People who want a game or faster games, they usually go Intel. And people who want to do the more encoding side, they usually end up going AMD. Like I said, with these new chips that AMD just with that 32-core Threadripper smashes in both contests. Not only can it game better than anything Intel has, it can also produce and edit and cut better than anything. As I said, that chip right now is the fucking king. And Intel was scared. And if you have Linus from Linus Tech Tips, and I watch him all the time, if you have him trashing your processor, then you've done something wrong. And as soon as they came out with it, he was like, what the fuck, Intel? Like AMD comes out with these two fucking monster chips that smash everything you have, and you can't even answer, and they can't. Intel can't answer. Red Team
like you said, anybody that knows anything even a little bit about software, Linux runs so much lighter.
Oh, it's faster
than Windows. So this, even if it wasn't built as much as it is, this thing is like a fucking loaded out Ferrari.
Yeah, it probably runs like a hurricane. You kidding me?
It's like, I use open source software because I'm cheap. Plus, I like open source, which is part of the reason I use Linux. But something like GIMP, which is like free Photoshop, it's almost like it opens before you even think about clicking on the icon. It loads so fast.
And then wait till you get an M.2, because I'll tell you the difference between an SSD and an M.2. Shit. Holy shit.
I got a 1 terabyte M.2 in it.
Oh yes, that is the fastest shit you're gonna get.
I have another slot for another one, and then I also have a rack in the back of the case that'll hold 5 more SSDs. If I need to upgrade the memory. Right now I'm good with just a terabyte M.2, but if I wanted to, I could upgrade and get another one of those and also stack in 5 SSDs. I forget the max you can max the computer out at, but it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you can max it as far as the dip of the drive, but as far as expansion is whatever your motherboard holds. But as I said, the M.2, especially the new 2 terabyte M.2s, you're talking about 3,000 to 4,000 read and write, dude. Your computer starts before you even hit the fucking button, dude. It is that fucking fast. Yeah. And it's scary. But as Miles, yes, Intel has been beat for single core performance by AMD and their new fucking chip, the 30-core 64 thread Threadripper 3970X is the top dog right now. It smashes any benchmark. It's sad. The benchmarks are sad. Sometimes they have 100% performance gain over Intel. 100% over the 1090 XE, the new chip that Intel just put out, the brand new one, the 1090 XE. I mean, they are smashing that chip into the fucking ground. That Threadripper can game, it can fucking edit, it can do anything you want, but it's also $2,000. So
yeah,
I mean,
I downgraded a little bit. I got the one that was like $400 instead of getting the one that was $2,000. But like I said, it's overkill even really for what I'm doing.
Especially Linux. Linux would run butterly smooth, dude. Because I mean, Linux, there's nothing to Linux. I mean, Windows is basically bloatware. But the reason I like Windows is because everything's fucking compatible with it. That's the only reason why I use Windows.
Yeah, and the only reason I have a Windows box, and that's why I bought a 2018 refurb HP with, well, actually, I think it has an i5 and 16 gigs of RAM, was strictly for using OBS to stream with a green screen, because it's a whole lot easier to get that shit working on Windows than it is on Linux. Yeah. Just because of the support with the software and everything.
And it's all about support. But Linux has come such a long way, dude.
Oh yeah.
That you can get there's hundreds of websites now that you can go and get tools and extensions and all sorts of stuff. And Miles, yes, it doesn't matter if it's single core or multi-core performance. Threadripper smashes them right now. I mean, in both tests. I mean, you can look at any of these tech channels, Hardware and Box, Gamer Nexus. They did all the single core and multi-core threads, and the Threadripper is AMD Team Red is on top. They're on top right now until Intel can answer, because Intel's not even on 7 nanometer, and AMD is 7 nanometer now. Well, Windows is more a corporate-based thing, so I mean, of course, it's supported by everything. But I said a lot of people, even I know, are going Linux, and the reason why is because Windows is basically bloatware to them, and it is because it's just got a bunch of shit attached to it that you don't fucking need, and it just takes up resources. But if you're proficient at Linux, I would say run Linux 100% or Unix.
Yeah. I got fed up with Windows. The last time I used Windows, until I bought this box, I mean, within the last few months, it has Windows 10 on it. The last time I used Windows was XP.
XP was a great fucking operating system.
I've been using Linux ever since then.
Yeah, I mean, like the best Windows there was XP. Windows 7 was good for a while, and then I waited to Windows 10. And it took me a while to switch to Windows 10.
What are you asking about, Captain Cat? You
Linux
tagged
is
me
open source. Windows is not open source.
Windows isn't.
You have to pay for Windows. You can pirate it. That's absolutely.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm not condoning that you go pirate Windows, but yeah, you have to pay for a license. As where Linux, no. I think there's a certain limit you can buy extensions. I don't know if they even sell it, but most of it's open source.
The only one I know you actually pay for,
Red Hat or something.
There may be some that if you want to use it in like a corporate setting, you have to pay for licenses, because you also get like support. And I know Ubuntu, if you want like a CD, if you want a CD or you want like a stick that's already got Ubuntu loaded on it, then you pay for that, but you're not really paying for the OS.
Yeah.
But you had made the comment you had 1 terabyte. I'd cry.
See, I'm not. Right now, of course, I don't play games and shit on this computer. So, I mean, right now, I'm not using a fraction of my 1 terabyte. And like I said, I have a super amount of room that if I start to use a terabyte or get close to using a terabyte, I can just buy some more.
Yeah, I mean, I just swap it between machines. I mean, I've got 2 terabytes in each, laptop, and plus an upfront SSD. My kid's computer's got a backup of 6 terabyte black Windows with Western Digital Black, and I've got one on my PC. So if there's ever overflow, I just network it across the room to something else, or even put on my mom's shitty computer in front, and she's got like the shittiest computer from like 6 years ago, and she loves it and she doesn't want to get rid of it. So
that's what my computer's doing right now.
If it works, it works.
Yeah, and it's probably that's nothing. You're not even.
And you see the memory. I mean, it's not using. Of course, I mean, all I'm doing right now is got a bunch of tabs open and streaming with y'all. So I mean,
so
it's
you're not doing nothing to it.
It's not a hardcore test, but it's basically idling is the way I look at it.
I have a very bad addiction, and I love wrestling and I love TV shows, mostly from the 50s through 80s.
Hey, man.
I have like almost 15 terabytes of
Happy New Year.
videos.
That's what I'm saying. I love a lot of 80s shows too. I mean, I love a lot of shows that people don't even look at anymore, like McCloud. I fucking love McCloud. Taxi is fucking phenomenal. I mean, like all that old shit is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Some of it's really good.
I need 18 terabytes. I mean, I couldn't live off of just one or two.
That's a lot of fucking porn, Captain Cat.
You can look at
That's
it.
That's a lot of fucking porn.
He's got
I used to have a long time ago. Well, I say a long time ago. In computer time, it's a long time ago. I built a home theater PC back before Fire Sticks and streaming was really a thing yet. And I pirated a shit ton of movies. What was that?
She said she was addicted to not talking about computers, and it was like, well, sorry. Yeah.
See, anything anymore, I just stream it. So I don't download a bunch of movies and stuff like I used to. So really the only space I take up on my hard drive is images I'm working on, graphics, videos, stuff like that.
Hell, my Doctor Who takes up 550 gigabytes worth of space.
Yeah, well, Doctor Who sucks. So I mean, come on.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah, kiss my ass. Listen, I don't really download stuff anymore. I just stream stuff through the Fire Stick. So I don't have a bunch of movies and shit downloaded. I'll download like Netflix on my laptop. I'll download like shows from Netflix if I'm going to be on a plane, so I can watch it like on a plane.
Same
but
here.
Other than that, I don't download a bunch of shows or movies.
Yeah, I just thought
my stuff is not on like streaming services or even where sites. Like for instance, I've got almost a complete collection of Mid-South wrestling from Louisiana from back in the late 70s to 87. And I had to go through several sites just to get copies. I mean, but
oh, Captain Cat, just admit it. You were downloading from Pornhub.
Prawn.
He likes, and not just that, he likes the specialty stuff like
wrestling. They call it wrestling, okay? It's wrestling.
Yeah, like
guys.
he likes he likes like the interracial goat porn and stuff like that.
Yeah, into goats.
Just go to the Middle East.
So Ron Jeremy walks out the door.
Yeah, the hedgehog. But we've probably talked about computers long enough. I'm surprised everybody in the chat's still here because we just talked about computers.
Yeah, it's like
for like an hour.
I love PC. I mean, I love building PCs. I love
yeah.
gaming and I love music. So I mean, it was the big threes of me. I play several instruments. I play guitar, I play piano, drums, sing. I do everything. So I mean, but that has taken up the biggest 3 parts of my life is PCs, gaming, and music, and then my child. It would be like, that's pretty much my whole life.
Han, you're in trouble.
Why? Oh, I know. Yeah, I didn't say
absolutely nothing. There's nothing wrong with interracial.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I just said that's what kind of goat porn he liked.
That's interspecial. That's not interracial.
Well,
yeah. I mean, that's a whole other category.
I said it wrong, I guess. Yeah.
That's for you trisexual folk out there.
I don't think there's anything wrong with interracial at
trisexual.
Try anything.
Men, women, and goats.
Joey,
I remember when I was
I just flashed back to the Zohan. Goat!
You took the love of my life.
Goat!
I was engaged to a black woman about 10, 15 years ago. Well, yeah, 10, 15 years ago. And where I'm from is horrible. I mean, even I had family members just, yeah. Here still sometimes don't like interracial.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow
I
up
live in a place where it's literally like 90% white up here, so
it's like I didn't grow up on any farm near a farm. I have no knowledge about any farm doings.
Well, that's because we're ultimately tribal beings, and how dare you go against a tribe?
I mean,
Now they're calling
the woman that I
DJs
was
furry
dating-
porn.
The woman I was dating, her family even didn't like it that she was with the white guy. So I mean, it was just like weird.
Well, that's because most people have in-group preferences, and if you go outside of your group, then the others inside your group will be like, what the hell, dude? It's just natural biology. Most of our minds prefer the same people, but when you go outside, the other people judge you. I've studied like psychology mixed in with genetics.
Yeah, Lola, I can't.
It's weird.
Lola, I was actually trying to go to sleep and stuff, and well, things happen.
This happened.
You sound like Forrest Gump. It happens.
Yep.
But
Something
enough-
bit me in the buttocks.
Yeah. Something
I don't know
jumped
if
up
it's just
and
my
bit
generation,
me.
but I've never watched Forrest Gump.
Oh, kick him. DJ, kick him right now.
I gotta pee.
You've never watched Forrest Gump? That's a classic.
That's most of my generation, honestly. I'm 18, so I'm the noob.
I feel really old now because both of my kids are older than you.
What the hell? I'm older.
It's like my kid's 11. I'm 40.
Hey, I'm 50.
Gonna be 42.
I'm 47, so I think only DJ's older than me.
That's right. I'm 48.
You old fucking bastards.
That's right.
I'm only 40, but I got a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old.
But
Any Trekker's got a speed, I think, no?
we're still Gen X, though. We're not no fucking
Yes.
boomers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't yell "Okay, boomer" at you guys. I only yell that like people like Joe Biden that are getting senile need to be put in retirement homes.
That's right.
Actually, I think Bernie Sanders is worse than
Oh,
Joe
wait a
Biden.
minute. Wait a minute. I got to find some. Did anybody that's in the chat right now happen to go to the Midnight's Edge thing tonight?
No,
Midnight's Edge.
after what they did to Anna Trucker, I just said forget it. I mean,
What'd they do to him?
Well, see, it wasn't them per se. It was their chat that was going off on them.
yeah,
Are you
But-
serious?
But there's still no
Yes,
bad blood because
horrible.
Midnight's Edge was in Annie Trucker's stream today and last night.
Wow. I thought they were fucking, they were cool. I don't know.
oh, they're cool. It's just a lot of the fandom minutes, turned on him as soon as he said that.
You like the Rise of
Star-
Skywalker?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fucking retarded. Oh my
I mean,
God.
they
And it-
turned on him, and
And it wasn't Rob or it wasn't Tom or any of them that
Well,
was going off on him. It was the ones
No,
in
it
the
was-
chat.
It's still their
Yes.
fault. It's still their fault, though, because their mods should have squashed that.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
That's why you have mods. Because I'm assuming Anti-Trucker was on the panel.
Yeah, Annie Trucker
Yes.
was on the
So
panel.
Oh, okay.
if
That's
you're a mod, you don't let the chat insult somebody that's on the panel.
Okay, Mr. Miles was at the stream tonight, so I have to ask, how many times, Mr. Miles, did Annie Trucker screw up naming the wrong person again?
What wrong person?
Well, Anna Trekker has this problem of not understanding that when he sees Midnight's Edge after dark, that's Tom. Robot Shlomo is Rob. He keeps getting that confused.
Oh, so that's why Rosetta was making that comment.
Well,
Gotcha.
don't bring that name up around me.
well, just the Phantom Menace to say
Well,
something
my bad.
in general. I mean, like, it's like, I don't know. Like I said, those guys are just fucking, it's just like a fucking huge hate group now. I don't know. I mean, it's like, come on, guys. I mean, it's like, yeah, Rise of Skywalker probably wasn't going to be the greatest movie, but now it's like they grip at threads, dude. It's like now that it's over and it's mildly a successful movie, everybody is just like still on this hate train. Now there's like, what was the thing today? John Boyega, out of the news. They're sniping shit out of Twitter now. Just fucking, oh, did you hear what the SJWs are doing today? No, I don't. really care. I don't know. I mean, like,
Look, Rise of Skywalker had Star Wars in the title. It was going to do at least $500 million. I mean, just at least right off the bat.
mhm.
I mean, just
Guaranteed.
because of the name alone. I mean, and it may end up hitting close to $1 billion just because of the name. If you're in the
Still,
fandom
it doesn't
now
matter
and
how
don't
much.
like it,
Well, I
Go
think
ahead.
it's a
It
50-50
doesn't matter how
ordeal.
much money it's gonna make. It matters on how the reception will be, like years from now. Like this is making
Right.
the prequel look good.
well, and
But
that's
right now,
like
I mean,
another
it's
big thing.
but see, the whole thing is this is not a Last Jedi situation. I mean, even looking at the critics, this is a 50-50 deal. Like 50% of the people that went to see it liked it. 50% of the people that went to see it hated it. As where like Last Jedi, everybody was just confused when they went to the theater, and a lot of people just fucking hate that movie because it's fucking horrible. The movie's really fucking bad. But I mean, people in this movie are like, hey, 50% of the people that went say they liked it. It was a decent movie.
GLM has a question.
Well, that was the same for whatever eighth movie. They 50% of the people liked it, 50% of the people hated it, and that's going to be the same for this movie too, because that's how the fandom is split. Like I'm part of the old EU fans that prefer like the Thrawn trilogy and Dark Empire and
Yes.
stuff over this stuff.
Hey, DJ.
Nothing beats the Thrawn trilogy.
Sith Lord wants you to check your DMs. He didn't tag you. He just said DJ.
But yeah, like I actually did a review of the movie, and I was just pointing out like every detail that I saw from the expanded universe that they lifted from, but didn't do it exactly right. And I put it in there. Like they copied a scene from the Force Unleashed video game.
Well, I heard the
they
Ahsoka
pretty much
Tano, yeah,
copied-
Ahsoka Tano's in there, and she never was in any live action.
That's not what I exactly meant. Like you know what Force Unleashed the video game was.
Oh yeah, the Star Killer. That was about Star Killer.
Yeah, like at the end of that movie, Rey was confronting Palpatine, and it's just like the same scene in the throne room where you see Starkiller like holding back Palpatine's lightning, and she does that, but instead of with her hands, it's with lightsabers. But I was just like, I've seen this before. I know.
So they
And-
copied the video game. Yeah, because I remember the last scene Vader stops you or something right before you're about to kill the Emperor or something, right? Doesn't he pop in and stop
No,
Starkiller?
No, you get. No, that's not what happens.
we got a
It's
question.
actually
We got a question to answer. GLM wants to know each person on the panel. What percentage of the time do you ignore women to talk about nerd stuff? Be honest.
Never.
Okay.
I've been single
I'm
for
a
5
gentleman.
years.
I will let the woman speak first.
Oh, did she ask a question? I was talking about computers.
Right? I was talking about Rise of Skywalker.
I'm sorry. I'm just being a smartass. I'll be honest with you. When I got in a deep conversation, I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I blame that on DJ because it's his stream.
Yep, I always take the blame.
I'm more on StreamYards than actually
guy.
looking at the chat, so I'm like, I don't know what the hell's
Okay.
going on there.
You can
but-
see the chat StreamYards though.
To answer the question, I'm single, so I ignore just about anybody anyway. However, when I was engaged, I could not. I best not ignore her over nerd stuff. Just saying, that was no.
It's, if you ignore people about everything, that could be why you're single.
Oh no, I mean I'm in a lot of stuff, and it's just a lot easier for me to be single than it is to have anybody, especially being a single parent. It's like I'm not about to drop another mother in his life. I just never thought I could and never cared. I don't know. So I guess a lot. I've been single for about 5 years now, over 5 years. So
what specifically were you wanting to talk about, GLM, when we were getting all nerded out on processors and all that stuff?
even Miles is confused.
I'm just male, so I'm
So
always.
I see Darth Malgus has joined the stream.
Hey, Sith Lord.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, bro?
Well,
What up,
basically,
Alan?
I think she just wanted us to get off the computer talk.
Oh, well, I mean,
Fucking anything else.
I'll be the
So
first
how
to
about the
admit.
weather, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'll
Oh.
be the first to admit we got like super hung up on the computer talk, but she said I shouldn't blame
other nerd
DJ.
stuff like we could go back to Rise of Skywalker.
Right now, we were in the middle of talking about Rise of
I'm tired
Skywalker.
of. I'm tired of talking about the fucking Rise of Skywalker.
Hi, GLM.
That's like 99.9% of what's on YouTube.
Subject change.
Okay, subject change.
Okay, I put out a video this morning. Does anybody have any movies they can't wait to see this year?
Movies? No, probably not. Picard.
Coming out.
Yeah.
Picard's the only thing I'm really looking for, and the Orville later on, and maybe Westworld 3.
Those
Westworld
aren't-
season 3.
Those aren't movies though.
I'm going
Those
to be
are
off the
TV
grid
shows.
for like
I'm never big at movies.
as soon as
I
I
just-
hit basic training, I'm going to be off the grid for like 18 weeks.
I mean, I just saw John Wick 3 like a week ago.
Oh yeah,
been out for-
1917. Thank you, Thomas Potts.
I
can't wait to see that.
actually,
Bill and
I
Ted's
actually-
coming out this year.
I actually watched 1917 yesterday, and it is a good movie. But all the hype that people gave, oh, this is the best war movie since Saving Private Ryan. No.
I watched The Irishman. I mean, it's a long ass movie.
Oh, The Irishman was great.
It was great. It was fucking great. They still have it at that age, dude. I mean, it's like to watch them still go at it and as old as they are, and to watch all the old de-aging in the movie, the CGI is fucking amazing. There are parts where he looks 30 fucking years old. You're like, holy shit, this is fucking good. But they still fucking can belt it out. De Niro, Pacino, they still have it, dude. It's crazy how old they are now that they fucking still are acting the way they are. But they have that genre all to themselves. They really do. Pesci, that is, I can't look at a monster movie in my life and not have one of them be a character. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like Casino and all this other shit that they did together. You know what I mean? But The Irishman was great. It was a really, really good story.
Other than being super long. It was
Yeah.
what, like 3
Well,
hours and something long?
It was like 3 hours, 26 minutes. I looked at it. I was like, is this movie seriously that fucking long? And I was like, holy shit, it is. Wow, it's fucking long. You know, and I can see a lot of that, more of that happening as we go down because Netflix and Hulu, and that's the reason why the Orville moved over to Hulu, you're not working with a time constraint. So, I mean, you can make the episodes as long or as small as you fucking want. And I guess that was a big restriction with the Orville was, you know, fitting into that 42 minutes. And being forced to do that 42 minutes, and that's all you get. I guess they don't have the restriction on Hulu, so the episodes will probably be longer. So
That's like a lot of stuff on Netflix, you know, it's like an hour per
Mhm.
episode, you know, where you couldn't really do that on regular TV because of commercials and shit.
and everything now is 10 episodes a season. That seems to be the number that everybody's kind of like, you know, agreed on. So everything now is like 10 episodes. That's a season. That's where I remember, like, you know, it's like DS9's like 26 episodes a fucking season. You know what I'm saying? Every Star Trek's 26 episodes a season. It's crazy.
Hey, did any of you watch Man the High Castle season 4?
No, I watched the first season and like half of the second season, and then I kind of fell out of it. I quit watching it for some reason. It didn't hold my
Well-
interest.
Well, let me just say, if any of you watch season 4, avoid the last episode. Just watch episodes 1 through 9, and you can get the full story, and it's actually pretty good. But they go completely woke in the last episode and just ruins it.
Oh, that
It
shit
ruins the entire
sucks.
series.
That sucks.
That's
I
what
was
they
gonna say-
did.
Yeah.
That's what they did in the last season of Orange is the New Black. I don't know if any of you watched Orange is the New Black, but
I watched the first couple of seasons and I lost it after
the last season they went like super woke and was, you know, it was all about, part of it was all about like the immigration deportations and all that stuff, you know, in the final season.
Yeah, as a writer, I don't get why they think it's a good idea to go woke, because most of the time it ruins the story. Like, if they started the story woke, then they could probably end the story woke. But if you just insert it randomly in the middle of a series, it's not going to make sense from a plot perspective.
Well, like I said,
And
like
that's
yesterday.
that's what ruins it for me.
Yeah, it
Well,
is. It's just like yesterday I was talking about where it's like, great, you know, it's them pushing the agenda and forcing it down your throat. Now it's like you say, if you write something tastefully and it's done right, it doesn't matter if it's fucking woke or not. It should just be. It should just be. There shouldn't be like emphasis put on it. Like, look, our series is so diverse. We have a gay couple. We have this. We have this. We're so fucking diverse. Oh my god, women power. You know, if you know when it gets to that point, it's like, dude, just turn off the shit. I don't give a fuck about this shit. You know,
did you ever watch?
Don't focus on that. Make characters for characters' sake. Don't just make them for that sake. You got to
focus on
plot, good people, and good characters.
And plot takes the characters. Plot, then character.
Well, for me,
plot, then character.
Technically, I have a bisexual character, but I only mention it in like 2 lines of dialogue. But if you only pick up on it if you're actually focusing, like Absolutely. That's how you do it. You don't just don't throw it at them.
Well, it's tastefully. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we have so many, especially the Captain Marvel hype, where everybody's like, she's the first amazing superhero, or Wonder Woman, she's the first amazing. Okay, you just destroyed the fucking fame of all the great fucking beautifully written fucking women heroes out of history. Sarah Connor, fucking Ellen Ripley. All these are fucking great, powerful women that were tastefully fucking written. They were strong, but they weren't like brought to the forefront like they're super women fucking justice SJW strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, but they were tastefully written. So the story is fucking great. I mean, Kira, fucking Sam Carter. I mean, all these women were written with common sense, and they were written to the plot, not to the fucking fact of what they were. You know what I'm saying? It's like this person's fucking like with a Discovery, the Stamos fucking Culber relationship. Oh my god, they're gay. We're promoting this gay fucking acceptance by, and they fucking focus on it, dude. I don't fucking care. This is the future. They don't even fucking care in the future. It's just it happens in the future.
It actually turns people away from supporting like gay rights by pushing all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, I used to be very libertarian on all this, and now it's like, really?
To me, it has the opposite effect, because if you point it out as being the most special thing in a movie, a book, whatever it is, to me, it has the opposite effect, because that's society now. We all know
turns
that.
You off.
Well, what the fuck is the plot then? You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? I don't care what these fucking people do. If it fits in the story, then fine. But I mean, I don't give a fuck what they do. I don't base your whole story on the fact that these two fucking men are gay and in space, because even in the 24th century, they look past that shit. Even then, they don't fucking care if you're brown, black, gay, whatever. They've moved past that in the future. Okay, that's what Star Trek is all about. We accept people now. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to blare out the fact that Cisco's black, or we don't have to blare out the fact that fucking Janeway is a fucking woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't. It just is. This is what happens now. We look past this in the future.
Yeah, why was Cisco such a good character? It didn't matter because he was black. It mattered because he was well written.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And he had and Discovery, that's not the case. These writers have no fucking clue what the fuck is going on. And that's the big problem. And with all the show firings,
because they're raised in like Silicon Valley and all these bubbles, and they don't experience the world, and they don't realize that a good story requires growth of characters and a plot progression and struggle and conflict.
Well,
that's why Rey suffers as a character, because she has no growth.
Absolutely. She has no weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of like Michael Burnham. Michael Burnham has no fucking weaknesses. She can out-captain the captain. She can out-science the science officer. She can out-fight the fucking security officer. She can out-Vulcan the Vulcan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, dude, where's their fucking weakness, dude? I mean, the reason why Cisco is great is because he starts off a fucking broken man. And eventually, through the series, picks himself up and fucking develops his character. You don't make your character off the bat some super fucking hero like they did with Rey. She's fucking taking out Emperor's guards with a fucking 3-day stint of training with fucking Luke, who didn't even train her. Just kind of like looked at her like, oh, you're here in this fucking island? Oh, what the fuck are you doing here, bitch? But yeah, she goes back and she's taking out the fucking Emperor's guard, who are specially trained to kill Jedi with bladed weapons. And she's like a fucking Jedi master. She's fucking running around the room like she's been like training since 4.
Yeah, and you know what they did in the Rise of Skywalker to hopefully try to fix her character? They made her lose a duel to Kylo Ren, but it's like that should have been the first movie, not in the third movie.
She already beat him before, so what the fuck's the point?
Yeah, it's like he beats her for some reason after he's been losing every single time. And
yeah, I mean, it makes no sense.
That should have been like Force Awakens. She should have lost, and then like in the Second movie, hold him to a draw, and then in the third movie, maybe beat him, but barely.
Well, and then people are saying they went crazy with the Force, like forced teleportation,
Yeah, but none of
fucking
them
light jump skips.
80s.
You know what I'm saying? Like all this other shit that they brought into the movie.
Yeah,
People are saying,
people forgot how to write. That's just my main complaint. And well, then I'm trying to write a good like trilogy over here of books that I
Have decent
generally give
characters.
character flaws, and yeah, like I give characters that have flaws, that have mental breakdowns, that are physically and mentally weak, and they suffer from depression and anxiety and all that just because it's like they're people.
well, that's where drama comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
can't have a team of perfect fucking people out there. And that was the big thing with Star Trek and writing for Star Trek when Gene Roddenberry was alive. He wanted no drama between any Starfleet officers. So they had to bring drama to them. You know what I'm saying? And like until DS9, when Gene Roddenberry died, there was little to no conflict with anybody on the fucking crew. I mean, they were all working towards one goal. They were all happy with each other. And unless like some alien took them over, they never fought. You know, and in DS9, you had people with differences. You know what I'm saying? Like Kira didn't like Cisco off the bat. You know, I mean, Quark and Odo fucking hated each other at first. You know what I'm saying? Like Bashir and O'Brien didn't like each other. But I mean, it all started off like this, and it eventually just molded itself as time went on into a beautiful story.
I agree with what Gene Roddenberry wanted with Star Trek. You know, if we're supposed to be this utopia, shouldn't we have gone past, you know, interpersonal drama and interpersonal fighting? I mean, it's
The
just
thing about
the same
that
logic.
is that people will always be people. Like you can't just. It's like communism. You can't just expect people to put aside like their natural urges, like Marx thought that people could. It's not in human nature, and half these people are human. By
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
just
why I love The
looking at-
Expanse, because The Expanse, in my opinion, does it right. I mean, I can see that art being our future, 100%. Like 2/3 of the world's in poverty, all the rich people left to Mars, and you know, only one of 2/3 works on Earth, to make a fucking nation run. I mean, but I could see that being how our future is going to actually work out. Not like, it's like we overcome every fucking instance. All of a sudden we have teleporters and, all sorts of other shit. And everybody was just all happy one day. I don't think it's going to work out like that. And, it's like, as far as my opinion, The Expanse is the most realistic view of our humanity 200 years in the future.
And I agree with you.
I actually
on
think
that.
it'll be like the Imperium of Man.
Yeah, 40K, absolutely. Some,
Yep.
it works out the same way. Yeah, it's definitely dystopian.
But in the Star Trek universe, the way that it was supposedly set up is Gene Roddenberry always had an idea of new humans. That was his philosophy, his concept, that we evolved to that point.
Well, I mean, he got his wish in Andromeda. If you've seen Andromeda.
You know who also?
Yeah,
Hey,
I
you
love
also want to know
The
who
Nietzscheans?
had that
Yeah.
vision of the new human? Do you want to know the two most evil men in history that also had that vision? Hitler and Stalin.
Yes.
They both had this idea of the new human that would rise up and be this exemption to the rule.
But
Yeah, Andromeda did it with the Nietzscheans. That's basically what the Nietzschean race is: the super evolved, perfect humans, genetically evolved humans.
Right. And
It's
I'm
never
not
gonna
saying that,
happen.
but I'm talking about, well, yeah. But in the Star Trek universe, that's the way that they had set it up, regardless of whether or not that, I don't think that's going to be our future. I don't think we can ever do light speed like that. I don't think transporters will ever work. But the point is, it works under Star Trek: The Next Generation. And I agree with what Roddenberry stated. He didn't want conflict. And then all of a sudden, fast forward till Star Trek of today, and that's all you have is conflict among, Starfleet.
Well, I mean,
You
it's retarded now because I mean, like Discovery plays like a Michael Bay flick. I mean, that's really what it is. It's like fucking explosions everywhere, fast movements, very little story characters. I mean, like we didn't even know who the fucking crew was until the second goddamn season. I mean, it was just one big
I
rocket
think
ride.
Star Trek is trying to become too much like Star Wars, and that's
It
the
is.
problem. That's not
That's
what
pretty
Star
much what
Trek
happened.
is. Star Trek is supposed to be like this.
Logical.
It's not a militaristic. It's
Yeah.
not militaristic. It's exploitation with a little bit of military here and there.
Yeah, I
But
mean, it's the
it's very
exploration of the
slight.
human condition. I guess that's the best.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. And, and us being kind of evolved in space. Yeah, it's a little bit on that tone. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, fuck, dude. I mean, like I said, Discovery is just a big action fest. It's like watching a Michael Bay flick. It's like watching Transformers. So there's so much action going on all the fucking time, and everybody in Starfleet happened to be trained by fucking black belt ninja assassins, because everybody in Starfleet and Discovery, they could fucking fight. I mean, it's like, dude, like you watch every other, then like the Starfleet officers can kind of fight. You kind of keep your old with the Klingon warrior, but now they're all like fucking like 5th degree black belts. It's like, fuck. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
Just
crazy.
saying from also a military perspective, like half us guys like put us in a ring with a professionally trained martial arts guy. Yeah, we're gonna fucking lose. We don't know martial arts. We know how to like tackle a guy to the ground and beat them senseless, but that's like the most the military trains us for.
Good night,
I know
Lola.
how to get hit real good.
All right, Lola.
And
All right,
Lola.
Yeah,
GLM wants to
we're
know,
more.
do any of you guys buy your girlfriend's Mustangs?
No, absolutely not.
I-
I don't even buy myself a Mustang.
Do you think I get paid for that?
If
I
I
bought
could,
my
I
wife.
would.
All right,
I bought my wife a Jeep.
Captain Cat is. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, I bought my wife a Jeep. It's not a Mustang, but
But Captain Cat's talking about
Yeah, I'm on
Farscape.
Uncle Scam's budget, so
Oh.
I'm not.
Farscape.
Yes, Mr. Mouse had brought up Farscape, and oh my gosh, I didn't get a chance to watch it until
I will tell you this.
after it went off, and I
Okay.
just drooled over it.
I mean, I will tell you this. In the first season after Farscape, the rest of it's great. The whole fucking thing is great. And people, he's like, Rigel's the best. I'm sorry, but like, dude, if you take it, Scorpius is probably the best thing in Farscape, I think. Scorpius is on the level of Gul Dukat in DS9. I mean, the character is beautiful. It's beautifully written.
When Rigel threw the head onto the bridge, that was it. That just awesome to me. I mean,
Yeah,
the whole
Rigel was
thing-
great too. I mean, Rigel is the best part. I mean, as I said, I think fucking
yeah, Scorpio was awesome.
Scorpio
I love
is awesome. He was a very, very in-depth, well written villain, and I mean, like, he's just fun to watch. He was just fun to watch as Gul Dukat. He is. I mean, like, that people like underrate that, but Scorpius was a great villain. He was, dude.
My only complaints about Farscape was they killed off too many people. I didn't care much for the insane guy. It's been like 10 years since I watched
Stark.
it.
Stark's the guy that saw the visions. Yeah.
Yes, I didn't care much for him. They killed off the plant woman. I didn't care. I didn't like when they did that. They during the final, mini series where they killed off Diago.
Yeah,
And they killed
Diego.
off the woman.
That's Kill Argo. Yeah, I mean that was the worst part where they killed him off.
Yeah, I didn't like the fact that they killed off him and that other woman. That redhead, the cute. They killed. Yeah, they just killed off too many people for my blood.
Her name was ridiculously long. I forgot what they called her, but she had a ridiculously long, stupid name. The redhead.
Just saying about killing off characters. I haven't watched Farsight, but I don't know what you guys are complaining about, but if you kill off characters from a writing perspective, you have to have that death like show the emotional response and weigh on the other surviving characters.
Well, they did
just
it
from like
they did it in the last movie. So I mean, like, because the series ends and they didn't go for season 5, so this made like a mini movie, and that movie, that's when they kill off Dargo. But
it was like,
I thought they did it all right. You know what I'm saying? But it kind of sucks that he's not around anymore. But I mean, like, I would have opted to kill off like Chiana or something.
The albino chick. Oh gosh.
Chiana, get Chiana out of there. She was a troublemaker. I mean, she fucked up more shit. Even Rigel fucked up a lot of shit. They all fucked up shit. I mean, I don't know.
They were basically criminals.
They're all miscreants. Yeah, I'm saying like
but Rigel was just. Did you ever read the comic books after?
no. Does it show him with his empire?
Yes, he finally got his empire back.
Yeah,
and the comics were written by the guy that wrote the series and created the series.
Oh, awesome.
Rocky O'Brien.
Yeah, Rocky O'Brien. Well, see, the Farscape gets my worst intro music. I just can't stand the fucking intro music, and it's just so crazy. I don't know.
Now, I need to go back and rewatch what was that? Defiant.
Defiance.
Oh, Defiance. That was the video game. Yeah.
I love Defiance until that last 6 episodes.
Oh, Rocky wrote it too. The guy that wrote Farscape wrote Defiance. He wrote Alienation. He wrote Sequest, DSB. Apparently, he has a very long history of science fiction shows.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the best science fiction spawned off of Star Trek producers. I mean, it's the Star Trek writers started their own shows, and they were all fucking amazing. I mean, that's.
I wonder why.
Yeah. I gotta go Gelogia.
He's Gelogi. But I mean, like, Battlestar Galactica, Ronald D. Moore. Outlander's good. I don't know if you guys watched Outlander. I've got the first couple seasons in, and it's a weird time travel story, but it's good. He does a great job with it, Ronald D. Moore.
I tried to, but
the 4400 was Ronald. Was it Renee Echeverria and Ira Stephen Bear? Robert Hewitt Wolf went on to do Andromeda and Elementary. Elementary I loved, but that's all Robert Hewitt Wolf. All these people. Hans Beimler went off and did great. Nareen Shankar, The Expanse. He went and started The Expanse. Nareen also worked on Farscape. So, I mean, he was for the first couple seasons. Nareen went from Star Trek to the Farscape to help out. Stargate, those guys, they went on to do Dark Matter. Dark Matter is phenomenal. If anybody, you get a chance to watch Dark Matter, definitely fucking check it out. And they canceled that show, and I wish they fucking didn't. They should have canceled the fucking Killjoys, because I watched all the Killjoys too, and it was like CW in space. I don't know. It was all right. But
CW in space.
It's seriously what it was. It's like even the intro music was all like CW. But I
don't understand why they canceled Stargate when apparently they were making it work when they was introducing new characters.
Stargate will be back. Stargate will definitely be back. We just don't know when, because the dudes that created are always talking with MGM trying to get it back, because MGM knows it makes money. So they do want another Stargate. I just don't know when we're going to get it or when we're going to get it. But all the characters are still alive. So, I mean, Daniel Jackson, Christopher Judge, fucking Michael Shanks, all those guys are still going. Amanda Tapping. Amanda Tapping actually is a director now, and she directed a bunch of Dark Matter. And she directed a bunch of I think she directed some of Lost in Space, and she also directed what was the other fucking show? Another Life, which turned out to be I didn't like Another Life. It was just
yeah. I started watching it and then I couldn't finish it.
I finished it and I'm just like, this is because it's not even with Lost in Space, and Lost in Space 2 I liked it, but I mean it's come to the point where it's like, okay, these people are out there, and even with Another Life, these aliens obviously have way better technology than we do, and they're able to crush us like bugs. So why are you even? I mean, like I'd be like, evacuate Earth. Let's get the fuck off this planet. These things are coming, blah blah blah, because these aliens are obviously way more fucking powerful than we are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I just started Lost in Space. I'm like partway through the first episode of the second season, but
it's a good romp, dude.
The original.
It's a good romp. I liked it.
It's sci-fi, so.
No, we're talking about the new one that's on
the new one, Lost in Space. Yeah,
no, didn't.
It's not bad.
Didn't Tapping do some of that show she was on, Sanctuary?
Yeah, she was, and also Supernatural. She was. She did Amanda Tapping's been everywhere, dude. I mean, after Stargate, but I mean, like Samantha Carter is by far one of my favorite female leads.
Talking about her
directing.
Yeah, she was talking about her directing and producing, whatever.
Yeah, she directed a couple episodes of Supernatural, Sanctuary. She's all over, dude. I mean, she's directed a lot of sci-fi, but she stayed in sci-fi, and it's like she's one of my favorite sci-fi heroes, female sci-fi heroes. Period.
Dude,
I
I
love
don't know
Samantha
about you
Carr.
guys. I love Sanctuary.
I
It
never
was,
got
it
a
was
chance.
different.
Just saying, we wrote.
Yeah, it was different.
I mean, I watched Andromeda. Andromeda was good. I liked Andromeda. Let's see what else.
Captain Cat, check the private message in StreamYards.
No,
Just saying, we really
you're in
need the
trouble
Warhammer
now.
40k
Hold
sci-fi
on.
show. That'd be awesome to see.
I wish they did a 40k site. That'd be awesome. Oh, my child's up. My child has woke up. He's now entering the room to ascend to his computer throne.
Even though I hate the Ultramarines, I think that'd be like a great place to start for a 40k show, just to get people in.
Well, I would assume they would start there. I mean, like I used to play tabletop all the time with my cousins. My cousins still do. I just live in another state, and it kind of makes it difficult for us to play. But yeah. So, but I mean, they still have the table, the whole setup, and we used to play for years. We love 40K.
Hello, Life Talk with Liz. How are you?
You have a Discord, DJ?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he's got a Discord.
I thought SG Universe kind of sucked.
It was all right. It was SG Galactico. That's what it was. It had a more serious tone. That's the only reason why it didn't do well, because Stargate never took itself seriously, and that's what makes the show great. Like I said, like the SG-1 gets captured.
And they canceled it right before it got started real good. They didn't even give it a chance.
Atlantis should have went 2 more seasons, and they should have waited. That's my opinion, because Atlantis is my favorite Stargate period. I mean, I fucking love that whole cast. The whole cast is great. But I mean, like I said, as far as the series crossovers, everybody was in everybody's Stargate. So I mean, like we had O'Neill in Universe, we had Daniel Jackson in Universe. You know what I'm saying? And it flawlessly was done. I loved it. You know, it's like my favorite episode of Stargate is where Teal'c and Ronan get together and they go smash that fucking base full of Wraith.
Hell yeah.
That is the best. It's called Midway. That is the best fucking episode of Atlantis ever. And it's just because you look over and they're just fucking with each other the whole time. It's like, indeed. He's like, you say that a lot, do you? And he's like, do I? You know, it's like,
No,
you know,
Miles, you're not going to ban pots.
You know what show that I liked? That's
I agree
not
with-
really Star Trek, but Firefly.
Firefly was
Oh
great.
yes. Take
Oh.
that gun, take my
Uh,
land.
Love.
I have to agree with Mr.
Firefly.
Miles on this. Mr. Miles, Universe was a great show, but it was a horrible Stargate show. I have to agree 100% with that. It just didn't. It didn't have the tone, you know. And like I said, at SG-1, the team gets captured like 80 fucking times, and no one has the fucking right sense to kill any of them any fucking time they're fucking captured. It's like the whole team, 1 or 2 of the team. All right, if you were this threat, and they wipe out all the Goa'uld. If you were this fucking much of a threat, you think the Goa'uld would just fucking wipe him out the second or third time they caught him? You know, it's like, oh, it's SG-1. Oh, we're just going to hold him on the side here. The big boss has got to talk to him. There's no way they'll ever escape. It's like, what the fuck, dude? You know, so I mean, but Stargate never took itself seriously, and that made the show great. And especially the 100 and 200 episode where they just go fucking wacky. That shit's fucking awesome, you know. And then Universe had a more serious tone. It was a great show, but it was just more fucking serious. You know what I'm saying? It was just like there was treachery, fucking deceit, like all this other shit that, you know, just came with it. And I don't think most of the Stargate community was just like, you know. So, but they should have waited on Universe. They should have let Atlantis go for another 2 seasons, and then they should have went from there.
Did they change writers or something?
Or just give her your Discord.
Did they change writers?
Well, my Discord link is down in the description,
Absolutely.
so anybody can.
It's expired. I tried to get on there, but it's expired.
What the hell?
Yeah, I know. It's like even Josh.
DJ.
He's like they joke about getting captured all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's true. They fucking do. They're like, again, they're just waiting around. They're like, what was the one line where O'Neill was like, we're just fucking waiting here so you can go get your fucking boss and fucking come back here and fucking talk to us and we can beat his ass and get out of here.
Well,
Yeah, I think.
God
I
help
think
them if they ever got captured by the NKVD.
Well, the worst capture was when O'Neill got killed over and over again by Ball. That was probably the worst one, where he just got captured. Ball killed him over and over and kept on resurrecting him back to life, and just killed him over and resurrecting him and killing him over and resurrecting him. That was probably the most wicked torture I've seen in SG.
But no,
I just tried to link in it for me to
Yeah.
get in Discord.
It's probably because it's your Discord.
I mean, other
If I-
other shows I don't watch that not sci-fi. Blacklist. If anyone watches the Blacklist is amazing. James Spader, fucking love James Spader.
A few episodes.
Boston Legal, love James Spader. Boston Legal's. If you're a Trek fan and you haven't watched Boston Legal, like fucking almost every actor on Trek is in Boston Legal. It's fucking amazing. And they do Trek jokes all the time. Like Shatner will open up his phone and it's like a fucking Star Trek communicator. It's like doot, doot.
I think those
Just
invites
saying,
only last a certain amount of time, DJ. I think.
yeah.
I don't know how that damn shit
Yeah,
works.
they do.
You probably need to
But
go
I can
in
always-
and get a new invite.
And you also got to set up your invite to never expire.
Well, how the hell you do that shit?
You boomer. Weren't we just talking about boomers?
Boomer.
Gen
Okay,
X.
Boomer.
Yeah, we were.
I go
I'm,
zillennial. A zillennial, I guess that's what they call us now. 78. I'm not actually a boomer or Gen X. I'm like in between boomer and Gen X. It's zillennial.
We still
I'm Gen
You're a
X.
saying
boomer.
from us
You're a
Zoomers.
boomer.
We call X X and we call ourselves Z. We refuse to use Zoomer. Only rarely will you ever hear a Gen Z call ourselves Zoomers. It's kind of like how the boomers sometimes don't like to use the term boomers.
Okay, I'm putting the link into the chat right now. It just said this is the new one and it should work.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely a
Hey,
good
guys.
one. Yeah,
But
good
going
one,
back-
Miss Miles.
Going back to talking about the sci-fi shows, I more prefer a good sci-fi show that's not really episodic. I'm kind of tired of episodic shows. Like I could tolerate Star Trek, but beyond that, I'm like, if it's doesn't have an overarching plot, I lose interest pretty quickly.
Well, see, I'm the exact opposite. I mean, I'm just so sick of 10-hour movies, 12-hour movies. It's just
TV has
I really
changed.
am.
So I mean, like, and it's the big thing is TV has changed. Production, all that, the cost is fucking dramatically went up, and that's why we don't get 26 episodes a fucking season anymore. And that kind of sucks because some of those episodes were good filler or character development. So now you have to scrunch everything you need into fucking 10 episodes, and that leads a lot
and
to be
all
desired.
one huge movie.
Yeah,
And it sucks.
Well, if they're adapted from a book, like say A Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, for at least the first 5 seasons was perfect for character development because they were taking straight from the book. And George R. R. Martin is expert at writing character development.
And that made
Same with
sense.
the Expanse is the same way. The Expanse is on book 8 right now, and the seasons are on book 4. And George R. R. Martin actually helped the guys from the Expanse write their first novel. They're good close friends. And George R. R. Martin, fucking, he's up the hill. Fucking always recommends The Expanse. And the show is very related to the book, but due to budgeting, some shit's changed. But the story remains the same. But sometimes in the show, they take a different path to get there. And it's fucking amazing. It's the most perfect sci-fi, I think, as far as like how physics actually work. And not just physics, but geopolitics. I mean, there's a lot of good shit in the show. And I said George R. R. Martin was a big inspiration to those guys. And he's in every one of their books. It's always like George R. R. Martin, better friend, good mentor, blah blah blah. But yeah, I said the characters are well written. The story is fucking pretty solid all the way through. And I can't wait for book 9. Like book 8, I just read book 8 like probably about 6 months ago, and I haven't been that fucking crazy read a book in so long where I just fucking tore through that shit in like a day, not even just fucking. It was just so fucking awesome. I was just like, damn, this is a fucking great book. But the series is great, and the cool thing is, if The Expanse, And I think this is the reason, and George R. R. Martin had something to do with this. How is the books of the Game of Thrones exceeded the actual fucking show? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, or like the show went past the books, and they had to write their own material after a certain point. As where The Expanse up to book 6 is a story, and then they leave 30 years open, and then they start off with book 7 and book 8. So I think they did that for the show to leave that 30 years open for interpretation on the show, and so they don't have the same problem that Game of Thrones had, and then they can end it wherever the fuck they want. So I mean, I think it's a much more better laid out plan, because right now I said season 5 is already greenlit, so we're getting to season 5 through Amazon, and season 4 was fucking killer. I have my I'm working. This is the fucking episode review right here, and I'm almost halfway through it. So, it's a great show, dude.
Yeah, like writing a book is different from writing a show. Like in a show, you got to think about how the camera angles and all that will work out. Well, then in a book, you can just like write the characters separate and don't have to think about that, especially if you're writing in the first person like I do most of mine, where you're just focused on the internal thoughts, the struggles.
That's what I'm saying. Your internal thoughts, that's the biggest part, because you can't just like internally think on a TV show.
Have a monologue.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no monologue in your head. You know what I'm saying? So they have to work around that. And that's difficult. And the two dudes they got to format the novel to the show did a pretty good job. I mean, there's a lot of things I wanted to see and got missed out, but realistically, the show's got a budget, and it's not the size of Game of Thrones. So, I mean, like, you have to stick to the budget of what you say. But, I mean, like, even in this book, there's a couple things that I would have loved to see that they left out. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand why they left them out, because to actually see that shit on screen would have cost a lot of fucking money. You know what I'm saying? And it's just how it is nowadays. So that's why everything is 10 fucking episodes now, and all your character development, all your shit. Because this first episode of The Expanse in season 4 covers 11 chapters in the book.
Good night.
Have a good night. Have a good night, Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
All right, sci-fi.
Good night. But yeah,
No,
just going back
just-
to the whole writing situation, like since I write in the first person, one of my characters, she suffers from delusions a lot because she went through a whole lot of trauma. And if I was to take that and try to apply that to a show, like she randomly sees blood like on her hands and she feels like she's falling every now and then. You can't do that on a show unless you physically pander over the camera and put those effects in and then have them fade away. But that takes money, that takes time, that takes filming, unlike
Absolutely.
a character.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to leave so much out in the book. I mean, even like the Lord of the Rings, there's so much shit left out of the books that wasn't in the from the movie. You know, I mean, there's whole other fucking situations, whole other characters that we don't even see in the movies that were in the books. And I mean, it's you have to be selective of what you take and put in to still make the story work. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be hard. Like I said, I give it to those two dudes. They have The Expanse has got two dudes, and those two dudes took the books and they chopped it up into a show. And that's got to be the shittiest thing, because I mean, you end up leaving a lot of shit that you may have wanted to keep in. You know what I'm saying? Out just for the sake of time. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's got to be a hard decision. That's got to be fucking nerve wracking, dude. I mean, coming down to it, I can only imagine.
Well, adapting from one medium to another is very difficult, no matter what.
Absolutely.
I think the
So-
only time where it got right was probably The Shawshank Redemption, where the movie actually improved on the book a whole lot in just characterization
that movie.
and overall story.
It's Adobe. I have Adobe, Miles. All Adobe.
Of course, I never read the book, but that's an awesome movie. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah, mine
one of the
too.
few Stephen King novels where he was kind of failing in character development, especially on Red's part. But in the movie, they really made Red a true character and not just a mouthpiece, which that's kind of what Stephen King was unfortunately doing with that character.
Well, look at The Stand. I mean, they took fucking 6 episodes to make The Stand, and The Stand was fucking great. I wish they'd redo that. If any
They
fucking
are
one.
redoing The Stand.
Oh, are they? Fucking, I hope
Coming
so.
out here really shortly, but it's CBS All Access doing it. So
Oh no, shit. So it's going to be
Oh,
episodic
God.
like the other one.
yeah, it's supposed to be at least 10 episodes right now.
That's badass.
Uh,
I mean, yeah, I love the old stand on TV. That was fucking great. They did a great adaptation. They really did. It was pretty solid, almost to the book.
Now, there is one thing I want to correct myself. I love episodic, but I don't like episodic where they hit the magic reset button. Okay. So, yes, you can have character development, you can have overall plot development. For instance, like Voyager. Voyager was just, don't get me wrong, I like Voyager, but too often the ship would be half destroyed at the end of one episode and at the very beginning of the next. It was like pristine, brand new. I mean, just bam, it was
non-serialized is what they call that. Non-serialized and serialized TV. And Star Trek worked both with a mix of both. I mean, there is sometimes you like to see a story arc, sometimes you don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, the Star Trek
and Voyager was an arc, whether they wanted it to be or not. You started off getting trapped in one place, and you knew that by the end of the series that they were going to be back in the Alpha Quadrant.
Absolutely. But the only part is
they had the arc.
Yeah, Voyager was only serialized towards the end. That's the only time they started making episodes connect together, was the very end of the fucking, like, season 7, because they were allowed to do it.
Just, they could have done
the most.
They could have had, the first couple of seasons would. I mean, for instance, the Maquis. They could have had the drama that we were talking about. They could have had but within a couple of episodes, everything had just been,
Perfect.
just magic. It was the magic reset button.
Well, it's like it's missed opportunities, and the Voyager's full of them, and that's what it is. And they could have had a much better show. And I'm not saying it did turn out bad, because some episodes of Voyager are actually really fucking good. And some villains that Voyager brought out, like the Vidians, that's a fucking scary ass fucking race, dude.
Gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Those were great villains. The Hydrogen were decent. The fucking the Thinkers. I mean, they had a lot of good races on Voyager that were decent. And some of the stories were decent, but some of the stories were just like, oh my fucking god. And the best episodes of Voyager revolve around 7 and the Doctor. Those are my favorite episodes. Anything that has to do with the fucking Doctor, or any of the better ones was 7, because 7 has a couple stinkers too. But
I think they should have the Doctor should have chosen the name, though, as part of his development.
But I mean, like, Star Trek worked perfect with a sprinkle of serials and one-off episodes. But I said, the 26 episodes, you have a chance to do that. You can't necessarily do that in a 10-episode season now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, everything's one big story. So everything now is pretty much fucking serialized. So I mean, and that's how it is. Witcher, all these fucking shows come out. Westworld, it's all one big story.
You remember back in the day they had clip episodes? I mean, we'll never get to see them again.
No, CV's come because that was all for the networks to resell, in aftermarket, basically, reruns and shit, and everybody made money off reruns, syndication. But when that shit went downhill with streaming, because streaming changed all of that, so now everybody's on the fucking streaming platform. That's why all these companies are dropping fucking TV left and right to pick up their own streaming service. HBO's got one. Everybody's got their own service. And that's basically what it's going to turn into. If you want to fucking get any content from this motherfucker, you're going to have to buy their app. And that's pretty much what I think it's all going to change into. So, I mean, but that's where it's headed. So, I mean, reruns don't even fucking matter. No one even watches TV anymore. People just fucking watch what they want when they want.
If you have cable, then okay, boomer. That's how we view it.
I have cable internet
That's
only.
how this world is now. And if you're stuck using cable, then what are you doing?
Well, piracy is just going to go up. I mean, because there's no way you're going to be able to afford, 20 to 30 different streaming services every month.
Well, I mean,
they're
starting to package up now.
Like when you have a million different streaming services and you only subscribe to, say, Hulu because of like Rick and Morty, then why is it worth it?
Well,
Right.
now like I said, they're packaging each other up now. So it's like Hulu started the thing with Disney Plus and ESPN that you get all three for like what $12.99 now. So I mean, I think I can see that a lot of that coming in the future with 2 or 3 apps teaming up to get all three at one low price or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, if you took advantage of that, the Disney Plus thing, like you got Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN all for like $12.99 a month or something. It was during Christmas, but that's how I think it's starting to happen. Unless you go to Prime and you buy channels off of Prime or whatever, you know.
Yeah, or just simply make your streaming services cheaper, so that way people will be attracted to it and stay with it longer, and it won't be as much of a detriment. Like, that's why I really like this one anime streaming service I went to, because it started at 8, but then it went down to 6, and now it's at 5.
Wow. Usually they don't go down. So I mean,
No,
like, yeah.
and
Well, they go
I-
down just because to attract more people.
More
because
people are
more
watching.
people have other, and they have other streaming services too that they're paying like 8 for. And if they decide to cancel theirs because they're paying too much,
The only
they don't
streaming
want them to cancel.
I ever seen go lower was the WWE one.
Yeah, they did a discount. I had WWE for a while.
I still have WWE.
I like the old stories. I got it to watch all the old wrestlers tell their old drunken stories and shit. That's the best part.
Oh.
Where it's like Ric Flair.
I gotta watch the
I was
80s.
on shrooms, and there was Andre, and there was 3 of him, and I was like, I'm just gonna go for the center one. Woo! You know, I mean, it's like, you know, you can tell how fucked up you were and how fucked up they were, and fucking all the shit they went through.
They were screwed up.
All right,
Oh,
good
yeah.
night, Sith Lord.
Yeah, later, guys. I'm out.
You have good night.
Oh,
Peace.
nice
peace.
to-
All right, guys.
Yeah,
Have a good one.
you too, man.
See you, bro.
Later.
Peace.
May the force
I-
be with you.
I think what a lot of people are doing is what I'm doing to my family is I have Netflix. My kids don't live with me anymore. They're actually roommates, which is kind of funny in an apartment. But my son buys Disney Plus. So I share my Netflix with my kids. He shares Disney Plus with me. My daughter bought YouTube TV, and they both got Hulu through like their cell phone plan. So we all share all those streaming services, and each of us only actually pay for one of them. You know,
Well, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, seriously, that's the best way. So I have Hulu, Netflix, and Prime. That's the only 3 I have.
yeah. I pay for Prime as well. They don't use the Prime, but yeah, I have Prime and Netflix, and the main reason I got Prime is I order a shit ton of stuff off Amazon. So
Yeah, that makes
I wanted all the Prime
just like
stuff.
the added videos on Prime was just an added bonus because I ordered.
Yeah, because honestly, some of their new series are all right. Like Man in the High Castle, Miss Maisel. My wife and I like Miss Maisel, but for the most part, to me, their streaming content is not anywhere up to par of Netflix. So
No.
if it was get Prime just for the video content, I wouldn't do it. I get Prime because I want free 1-day shipping on stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. I mean, because it's like I live in an area, like when I lived in Chicago, I had access to everything. If I wanted it, I can go out and buy it at any fucking time of the day. If I wanted a fucking processor, I can go out and buy it at any time of the day. It wouldn't even fucking matter. But you have access down here. Like it is fucking barren, dude. I have one shitty mall at one outlet mall about 40 miles away, and all I fucking do is Amazon and Newegg. That's it. I mean, it just makes more sense.
Amazon's also good for those niche things. Like I ordered a Bavarian Royal Flag and I ordered a Portrait of the Kaiser. You can't go to the store and buy that in the United States.
Like, you're right.
Well,
like I got
just
a
just the
5,000
prices.
polar bear skeleton. I just have
I mean,
to buy it.
And it's just the prices. I mean, especially now that you can get almost anything 1 day or at least 2 day. I mean, you just can't beat the prices. Even to go to Walmart or something, you're going to save money on Amazon unless you just have to have it right this second.
Yeah.
Why not sit at home and let them bring it to your door?
Well, that's what the world's coming to. Basically, you're going to sit at home and you're going to be in your room. You're going to be like, computer, turn on TV, buy groceries, have them delivered at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And you're literally, that's what it's going to be coming to. I mean, everything's built on convenience. So, I mean, it's
See,
like,
I don't live close enough for that. I live outside of Atlanta, but I live outside of the area that they actually do it. But they got Amazon Fresh in Atlanta where you can literally buy your groceries, and within 2 hours, Amazon delivers your groceries to your front door.
Oh, you should see the Amazon Go stores. Have you ever seen those yet? You scan your fucking Amazon account as soon as you walk in the store, and whatever you pick off the shelf, it buys for you. So you just walk out. There's no registration.
Really?
It's so badass. And even
I haven't seen one of those.
Yeah, even if you drop it on the floor by mistake and you put it back up there, it doesn't charge you for it. They have cameras and sensors all over the store. So you just go to the shelf, pick out what you want, and walk out, and it charges your Amazon account like that. It's fucking amazing. It's crazy. It's insane.
I kind of like that, but yet I also kind of hate the idea of that.
Well, I guess someone could go in there and be like, with your cell phone, be like, I'm this dude.
Well, no, it's just more like this the idea that these multinational corporations can like just spy on you like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like they know everything about you. That's the only thing I hate about, but I also love the convenience. It's like, which one do I pick?
I've already given up. I've already given up on worrying about that.
Like 7-Eleven and Circle K, like Amazon's going after 7-Eleven, Circle K next. And that's the reason why they're putting those stores up. So you're going to walk into a gas station and you're just going to go to the pump and it's going to sense you. And you're going to be like, okay. And you're walking to a gas station, pick up wherever you want, walk out, and just drive off. And
just because I live in a rural area, that's going to take a very long time to come up here.
Yeah. I mean, I've
like
already
North
gotten.
Dakota, no.
I'm already so used to the fact that you can have access to your
Amazon. I don't see a ring on this finger.
I'm already so used to the fact that if you use any kind of technology nowadays, even a toll pass to use like a toll lane, they're taking so much personal information that I've just give up. I don't care anymore. I'm like, okay, you want to know that I do stupid shit like go buy toilet paper on Sunday? Have at it.
Well, the thing that's shitty. It's like even at our store, they put in these new pads where you have to swipe it on the pad and shit, and all the chips and shit. Like none of this shit matters, dude. Like I woke up one day, took my kid to McDonald's to fucking get some cookies before school, and found out I had nothing in my account because some dude in Atlanta took my card. I sleep with my fucking card on me. My card does not leave my site at any time. And they took my card and they were buying shit in Atlanta. They fucking drained my account like $2,500.
Sorry.
Like, left with nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? I have like $2,000 in the account. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it and they're like, were you in Atlanta? I was like, no. I haven't been to Atlanta in 20 fucking years. She's like, well, it looks like someone, got your card information. Did you give your card out? I was like, no, I fucking sleep with my card. And I was like, so what is all this security shit matter when they can steal my card from 3 states away? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? They can take my card from 3 states away. What the fuck is this pin pad gonna do?
I'm sorry, I didn't know that was your card.
But yeah, I mean it's like I don't know, the security and shit is bullshit nowadays.
The same thing happened to me, and this is what's even freakier. Is a long time ago I had my card stolen.
Oh,
and I was in Atlanta, Chattanooga, Tennessee area. Well, okay, so I buy gas on the way to work. Well, like an hour later, somebody buys like $1,500 worth of tennis shoes in New York. So I call the bank and I'm like, what the hell is going on? They're like, or my wife called because I was at work and she's like, were you sure your husband didn't buy those shoes? And she's like, he just got gas an hour ago in Georgia. Do you think he magically teleported to New York to go on a shoe shopping spree? But the last time my account was taken, this makes it even weirder. They actually called the bank on the telephone and somehow convinced the bank to change my passwords, change the address for my account, and to tell them how much money was in my account. And then they cloned the card and started spending money. And I'm like, how the fuck can they call the damn bank and get all that? And the bank, the bank of course,
do you think most bank employees actually care?
The bank of course played it off. They're like, well, apparently they somehow knew enough information about you to do all this with your account. And I'm like, okay, so somebody in New Jersey knows enough about me to take over my bank account by calling your fucking 1-800 number.
Think about that. How many states that away? Like 5 states away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's like he's like, I'm in Florida. I was like, no, I haven't been to Atlanta in 20 fucking years. She's like, well, it looks like someone hit the ATM. They pinged it once to see how much was in the account, and then they took all the money and left me with like 12 cents. So I mean, I got all my money back, but I mean, like at the same point, it's just like I've never given my card out. I don't even. No one touches my card. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like I literally sleep with it on me. You know, and like these motherfuckers steal it from my pocket 3 states away. You know,
The only thing that saved me is since it's happened to me before, my debit card, is linked to my checking account. So I transfer money between my savings account and my checking account because since that happened to me before, I don't leave a bunch of money, in my checking account because that way if they hit my checking account, because you know how it is, they're like, oh, we can get the money back to you in like 6 or 7 days. And you're like, wait a minute, the motherfucker took it instantly. And now you got to give me a week to give me my money back. So I don't leave. I leave basically just enough money in my checking account for like getting gas and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I keep cash just in case too. So I mean, like it's good to have both. But I mean, like cash is the way to go. If that shit doesn't fucking pan out well. But I mean, it's always good to have some sort of cash. But yeah, I mean, it's no joke, man. I mean, that shit is so fucking retarded, and there's like little you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Because now they have those devices where they can put it in their pocket, and as long as you're in the store with them, they can walk by you, and that device will scan your fucking credit cards. So I mean, it's kind of scary nowadays.
I have one of those RFID blocking wallets because you can get those little. They're like the one I have is like aluminum or something like. As long as it's behind metal, they can't scan.
Well, it's a certain type of metal they can't scan through. I forgot.
It's a little card holder that just holds like my bank cards and stuff like that. But it's like it blocks the RFID, so they can't just scan it with one of those scanners.
Yeah, that's the biggest. I guess that's the biggest way they get them too. I mean, you walk into a mall during Christmas. I mean, you get thousands of numbers. You know what I'm saying, within hours. So.
Why do you think I like living in the rural areas? We always have to order shit because we don't have shit.
It sucks.
Okay, I want to go back to one thing. I was talking about the stand, right?
Okay.
And there's certain things on this that scare me. The casting. James Marsden is Stu Redman.
Are you serious?
Jovan Adepo is Larry Underwood. Whoopi Goldberg is Mother Abigail.
Oh, wow.
I've heard of that.
Amber Heard is Nadine Cross. Owen Teague is Harold Lauder. Odessa Young, Franny Goldsmith. Alexander Skarsgård is Randall Flagg. And they only have him.
Keanu Reeves is the Emperor of Mankind.
Well, those could change at any time, too. I don't know. I mean, nothing's really final. It's like a day before the fucking thing drops.
It's like all the main characters are listed for 10 episodes. And then it goes to that one episode, Randall Flagg. Plus, Stephen King is supposed to be writing a completely different ending for this.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow. That'd be cool.
11:30
Yeah, I liked Dreamcatcher. I love that fucking that was a good show. Good movie or whatnot. But Stand has always been pretty good. And then a lot of the old Stephen King movies are good. The old Christine. The old Cujo. Oh,
did Stephen King do Maximum Overdrive?
Yep.
Yeah, he did that. Well, he was part of it.
With the Goblin semi truck.
Yeah, that was badass. The appliances that would like the cord would just fucking come up and then strangle the dude. it's like the cord comes off the wall.
He was at the beginning of Maximum Overdrive. He was the guy trying to get the money out of the ATM machine, and when it called him an asshole.
Or what was that? Well, because Twisted Metal, one of my favorite PlayStation 2 games, Twisted Metal 2, was based on Maximum Overdrive, and it was awesome. It was a car fire simulator, basically. Car fighting.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. What you're talking about.
Yeah, Twisted Metal 2 was awesome. I love that game.
You want to post your Discord link again, DJ? Oh,
I
never mind. You done? You're already a step ahead of me.
Just on a random note, about talking about games. Any of you remember KOTOR?
Which one?
Knights of the Old Republic?
Oh, the Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, yes.
The first one, you mean?
Yeah, or
Yeah, I remember
either
playing
or.
that.
I love them both.
Yeah, I remember playing that like a long time ago.
God, I was playing it like the other day, and I was just like
Long
bringing back
time
the sweetest of memories. I was like, oh my god.
Well, I remember getting around and, like jamming on GoldenEye. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He used to make you
Oh yeah, I know GoldenEye. I never played it, but I've
oh, dude. I mean,
I've
it's
seen
like
it.
funny because we went back and 20 years later and played it or whatever, and the shit is so fucking slow, dude, that you're just like all up on the screen
Yeah.
trying to make this dude go faster. It's like, God, this is what we dealt with back then. How slow. And even when you put it on turbo mode, it is still fucking slow compared to something now where everything's flying in your face 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have no
Yeah,
fucking.
It's funny how cool we thought that stuff was. Even like Doom or like Castle Wolfenstein or whatever. You
Oh,
thought,
God,
man,
yeah.
this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And now if you compare it to today, it's like,
Oh, it's
what
like
the
8
fuck
bits,
is
like
that?
pixels and shit, like
Yeah.
big ass blocksy pixels.
Yeah.
And,
It's just big blocks of pixels moving around.
Oh,
He's like,
God.
this is cool. I can shoot stuff and pixel blood comes out.
yeah, I remember I remember getting my Nintendo when I was in like 3rd grade, and I remember when all the Final Fantasies came out, all those fucking games, the Dragon Warriors. I love the Dragon Warriors, which is Dragon Quest in Japan. But I remember like just waiting in line, waiting for all those games to come out, and reading all the old school. Like I remember trading Nintendo secrets for lunch at school, like
Yeah. they
how to
had the
find the
damn,
flute and Zelda. Be like, well, how? Well, you can hit me up with that chocolate bar, and I can tell you where to get that flute and Zelda. You know, I mean, like it was as good as currency back in the day. Now it's like you look at the internet, it's like it's over here.
Yeah. 10 seconds later, you can find the cheat code.
People are calling
Yeah.
those lines the cheat code lines. That cost like so many, much money per minute and shit. Be like, well, how do you get to the second level in this game? Blah blah blah. I mean, but yeah, it was back in the day.
They had the Nintendo Power magazine, and
Oh,
remember they made that movie, The Wizard.
Oh, the wizard, with the glove. Yes.
Yeah, where the cool dude in the movie had the power glove. Yeah, and it had what's his name, Fred
Bob.
Savage.
Yeah,
from
Fred
Life
Savage
Goes
was in
On.
it.
I mean, not Life Goes On. You know what I'm talking about. He was in that
Wonder
one, too.
Years.
Wonder Years.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
But I remember that movie was epic, dude. I remember going because it was like the movie that was made for us as kids. Like I remember going to the fucking show being like, yeah, the big tournament with Mario 3, and at that time we're like, I can fucking beat Mario 3 in like 30 seconds flat. You know what I'm saying? Like I had played through it so many times by the time that movie had come out. Like it's like I'm doing better than they do in the movie. But it was cool just to have a cultural movie like that because I mean. Even now, it's like I grew up as a gamer where like girls playing games was a huge taboo. Like it was like 1 in a million would find a girl gamer, and now every other fucking gamer is fucking female. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, and they all have their own Twitch channels and shit. It's like, what the fuck has happened to the world? Like where were all these girls when I was fucking growing up as a gamer? And like the only one that fucking gamed. You know what I'm saying? Like playing Nintendo and shit.
Yeah, girls used to look down their nose at you. It's like,
seriously though.
Oh my gosh,
you were like
high school was horrible.
Yeah, you were like this like different breed of human. Like, oh, he plays video games and blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
you couldn't even get a date.
Seriously, and now it's like every girl plays. Like every fucking girl's got a Twitch channel. Every girl, it's like, what the fuck has happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have used these girls fucking 20 fucking plus years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right?
what the fuck?
Well,
Like,
yeah, and they're raking in money like on Twitch.
I'm
And
glad
stuff.
I
yeah.
grew up in this generation.
yeah,
They're
it's
raking the
weird
money in.
generation. Yeah, they make a lot of money. Some of them.
In my
Ridiculous.
generation, yeah, we're pretty mixed on gamers, both male and female. We enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And
I mean,
in fact, well,
I would say it's almost even across the board now. I mean, like
GLM plays poker online.
I hope it's not the place that advertises on the bootleg movies.
Were.
Getbait.com.
Just saying, I know
Bitcoin
how you guys
casino.
were like going over your love of those older games, like back in your day, like Doom.
Oh,
And
hell
stuff.
yeah.
For me, that was like Battlefront 2, like the original
Right.
Battlefront 2.
Yeah. The original Battlefront 2.
That was our GoldenEye. That was our Doom. That was our Wolfenstein.
I
And I
Well,
still
see,
go
like,
back and
I
play
was-
that.
when the PC gaming thing started coming out, and it's funny because it's like I remember playing Counter-Strike like 1.6, like 1.4 when that was getting big. And I mean, back then we were talking to each other on the server. We were like, it was like fucking normal shit for us to do it back then, where console games didn't have that option to network or talk to anybody. And then I remember when the console games finally got the ability to like, oh, I can play Call of Duty with friends and talk to them. Like everybody was all fucking amazed. I was like, come on, dude, we've been doing that for like 10 years plus already. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all hyped on it and shit. Like us PC gamers have been doing this for fucking 10 years already, talking shit to each other in servers. And now the console gamers are finally getting to do it. So I remember when the big change happened. And now it's like, if you look at the new Xbox, it's basically a fucking PC. I mean, what the fuck is the difference?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's coming to the point where it's like, just get a fucking PC, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just put an Xbox label on it, make it a fucking PC, get this shit done with, because it's like they're the same thing now. I mean, it's like really, it's coming to that point.
It's going to
Mr.
more.
Mr. Miles is asking us in the chat about Mass Effect. Personally, I like it. I played through all 3 games multiple times, and multiple different types.
Never heard of it.
It's like this trilogy of games where you can where your actions in the first game can affect the outcome in the third game. It's really good. Really good interconnected universe, but some people try to say it's like as big as Star Wars, and I'm like, those are people that only watch the movies of Star Wars, because Mass Effect is not that deep.
Well, I mean, everybody, wants the Mass Effect, trilogy on TV. They wanted the adaptation to happen, but I never even played a Mass Effect. I mean, everybody says the story is great, but I never dove into it.
It is, but it's dependent on the player's actions, and if you try to adapt that, you just be pissing off like everyone.
A lot of people that
everybody
wanted
makes different
a special ending of their own, basically. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the same thing with they've tried to do like a Fallout movie, because there's so many different, endings. You know what I'm saying? Like ways you can go in the game, that whatever one you pick, you're bound to piss someone off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the reality of that. I can see Mass Effect doing the same thing, because
you could probably. Well, you can make like a Call of Duty movie, but yeah, you can't do an RPG movie.
Well, at least a good one. At least a good one.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's going to make everybody happy. Even look at The
like-
Witcher. The way people are torn about The Witcher already. You know what I'm saying? And it's like half the people that fucking have played the games and read the novels absolutely fucking love it. But people who've never seen the story or whatever absolutely fucking hate it. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody says, they're pissed off about this and this and this in The Witcher. But on the other hand, other people are saying it's fucking amazing. I don't know. But it's the same thing. It's like
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't played the games, so
I never played 3. Yeah, I never. They said it takes more off Witcher 3, but I've never played Witcher 3, so I never got into it or read the books. But people are up in arms about it. Like I said, it's like almost a Rise of the Skywalker situation where 50% of the people say they love it and it was pretty good, and 50% of the people say they hate it.
Just like back in the day when the first Dungeons and Dragon movie came out.
Oh God, I remember the cartoon. The cartoon was dope.
Wait, what?
The Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. You remember? That's fucking like 1984 or something. But they had a cartoon and actually had.
I wasn't born until 2001.
Yeah, this was on when I was little. But the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon had Sloth in it. The Dark Knight, one of the most iconic Dark Knights in Dragonlance, was in it. And basically, it was an adventure party, and they'd go from episode to episode. Dragon Warrior had one too, but Dragon Warrior, the episodes were working levels. So episode 1 was level 1, and episode 2 was level 2. Dragon Quest had their own fucking thing going on, but those were great. I love the old Dungeons and Dragons, but it's really old.
If you like D&D, I think you would like this one anime called Goblin Slayer, where it's essentially set in like a D&D environment, but the adventurer specifically goes out to kill goblins because his village got destroyed by goblins.
Sounds like any normal
you
D&D
watched it,
story.
you would
Yeah, I mean,
like
I used
it.
to play tabletop D&D a long time ago
Yeah.
with my cousins, and White Wolf. White Wolf is probably my favorite, and Vampire Mage. White Wolf just had a more modern and easier system to work with, as where in D&D you needed like 6 different types of dice to play, and White Wolf you only needed a 10-sided dice, and everything. The whole system was done in 10, so everything was easy. But I started as a D&D player, played a little bit of Shadowrun tabletop too. I like Shadowrun. Toon tabletop. Toon was a fun game, and then eventually ended up in White Wolf, and White Wolf was my favorite, and I stuck with White Wolf for a while until I just computer MMOs took over. You know what I'm saying? Like it was easy. Like I just have the game run the game for me instead of having to run the game. So, but yeah, said White Wolf had a great system, and supposedly they're still coming out with games, but their whole system and their history is basically they've tied vampires into every action that's ever been done in through human history, and they're historians. Their historic team is phenomenal. They tied every event they could think of into vampires controlling humans throughout history. And basically the older vampires are trying to control the younger vampires, big war. And in this world, they also have werewolves and mages, and their magic system is by far the best magic system of any tabletop, because it's kind of like you make the magic off the top of your head. It's not like level 3 fireball. I'm casting level 3 fireball. No, it's like I'm going to take the spark from that light, turn it into an electric lightning bolt, and I'm going to sear this dude. And that's how the magic works in fucking Mage. And it's great. It's all based off on a 10-die system, and the lore is really deep. So, I mean...
So, that makes me think of other video game movies. And we can talk about them and get everybody's opinions. I'm not a super big gamer, but I've watched all these movies. Like the Silent Hill movies. I mean, I thought the first one was good. Although I've never really played Silent Hill, so y'all are more gamers than me, so maybe you could.
Yeah, I never played
more
Silent Hill
to
either. That was more of like one of those point-and-a-click adventure type deals. I don't know.
Silent Hill is freaky as hell if you play it with headphones on. That game.
Oh, you hear all the noises from like different directions and stuff.
Oh yeah, and you hear these babies crying out of nowhere, and it's like, what the hell?
And then we have Resident Evil. The whole Resident Evil franchise.
They went 4 movies deep with that. I mean, they went through a lot. I think Resident Evil 4 was the last one they put out, right, or something like that.
Oh no, there's like 6.
Oh, is there? Holy shit!
There's 6 or 7, and a couple of them are actually like animated movies. They did like so many live action, then they did like 2 animated movies. So there's like 7 total or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of great. That's almost like Fast and Furious.
Action and 2 animated.
What was that, DJ?
I think there's 6 live actions and 2 animated.
Okay, so I've never watched any of the animated ones. I've watched the live action, and then we have, to me, which was a shitty movie, was Doom. Remember they made a Doom movie? I think they actually made sequel to it, but there was a Doom movie like based off the Doom video game.
Yeah, that was way old. Is it Patrick Stewart in that?
It might be. Yeah.
I think Patrick Stewart's in that one, but that was the old dude. I mean, they're supposed to be making a new one. I think a whole new movie.
There's a straight, what I'm assuming is like straight to video sequel. I want to say it's on Netflix right now.
I remember the movie being like stupid long, like 5 hours or something, but it was done in parts or something like that. The original dude.
Then you got the old World of Warcraft movie.
Yeah, I never seen it. I never played World of Warcraft. So
I haven't either.
Oh, I spent 7 years playing World of Warcraft.
So I was never Quest player, so I
know that Warcraft movie, just from a guy that never played WoW. I would say it's not that bad of a movie, but apparently everybody said it was a bad movie because it didn't stay true to the WoW universe or something.
I didn't mind the movie myself. It's like the Dungeons and Dragons movie. It wasn't that bad. Best part was seeing Tom Baker in it. But then they came up with that sequel, and it just sucked.
Well, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, you look at franchises like Fast and Furious, and you wonder how they made it to like 9 movies. I don't know.
Milking.
Yeah. I mean, even Jurassic Park, even the new Jurassic Park, it's like, how much blood can we bleed from this stone?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's pretty much what it's like.
And now they're doing another Indiana Jones.
Oh my god!
Well, that's the thing about like the difference between Western and Eastern writing styles. Like in the West, we tend to try to milk things and make things stupidly long series. But like I look at Japan and stuff, and they tend to write like things just to, like say, one season animes tend to be the best because they have a beginning, middle, end, and they're so well written because they don't intend to extend it farther.
Yeah, I mean, I know a little about, but my kid watches anime. He's right next to me. He's huge in watching all the Naruto and Bleach and all that other crazy shit that goes with it. But I mean, it's crazy because it's like there's so many fucking episodes of some of these fucking animes. It's like, I was like, what? He's like, I'm an episode like 700 and something. What? Holy shit! There's been 700 fucking episodes. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
damn, you know.
just saying Naruto is like the exception to the rule. I'm talking about more like Code Geass or Death Note. Where
yeah, I remember
they had
Death Note. Death Note was a small story, wasn't it? I don't remember that being huge.
It wasn't, but it's really good because they just get straight to the point and it's a really good story. They don't try to extend it. They don't try to milk it, and that's what's best about it.
Yeah,
that's the difference between East and West. My favorite anime, that's pretty hard.
Yeah,
I'd have to say probably Code Geass. But that was a Mr. Miles question. I'd probably have to say Code Geass if anything, but I also like Goblin Slayer. I like the first arc of SAO, Overlord. There's a lot of really good animes.
Oh, like my kid watches what JoJo's Adventure, all that shit. I mean, there's so much. Tons of tons.
I don't like JoJo. I don't like Naruto. I don't like those big ones just because they milk the franchise and their writing is very subpar compared to other animes that tend to be shorter. So that's my main gripe.
Yeah, I mean, like I know very little about anime, but
yeah, I'm
he's the
probably like the only guy here. Yeah, I will admit that, yeah, I'm like the only one here, so I'd have to explain to you all about it, but yeah, I don't intend to do that because that would take me way
you know,
too long.
Like that, you know, some stories would be, you know, straight to the point, and some stories would go on forever. But yeah, I mean, like as long as it's straight to the point, you know, I never considered that an Eastern whatever style of writing or whatnot, story wise. The movie's the same way.
What movie?
Like Japanese movies and stuff like that? Is it basically the same thing? No sequels?
Well, yeah, they try to just get to the point and they try to tell a good story, but I couldn't say for Japanese films I don't watch them to the extent. But the only foreign movies I watch a whole lot of is probably German movies. That's the only foreign I get.
Yeah, I mean, I watch things in Spanish because I know Spanish, and sometimes it's funny to watch it in Spanish. But like if you ever get a chance to watch 300 in Spanish, oh my god, it's hilarious. And just because of the voice actors they get to voice these dudes, it's like they do not sound anything or even close to what this dude looks like. And it's just like, Sparta boss. You know, I mean, it's like, oh my god, dude. I mean, like, this is who they got for Leonidas. You know what I'm saying? It's like this dude sounds like a fucking twerp. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's like, and it's just funny for that aspect to watch them. Oh, because they hired the same 5 dudes to do all these movies, and it's like they all have a distinct voice, and each one of their voices comes in a part, and they use them over and over, and that's how they like overdub some of these movies. And some of the translations are fucking hilarious, especially like newer movies like 300 and shit like that. Watching it in Spanish, it's fucking hilarious. I mean, it's like if you understand Spanish, but I mean, Spanish is probably one of the easier ones to learn.
Actually, I found German much easier language than Spanish. I took Spanish 1 and then I took German 1. I retained a lot more from German just because it's a much more direct language. I don't like the Latin aspects of Spanish.
Yeah,
it just
messes with me. Was easy for
German. That was like straight to the point.
I just got it because I'm mostly Italian. My grandmother's spoke 100% Italian growing up, and it's like Latin was easy and natural for me to pick up. It's just I don't know if it's in the blood, but it was just easy for me to understand, and I grew up in a very.
I think it is blood because, like, I'm half German. I took the DNA test and I picked up German way easier than if you were trying to teach me Spanish.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I've never tried German. Maybe German would be the same way for me, but yeah, I could see that totally. But I said, like it's Latin was easy for me, and I can even understand other Latin dialects. You know what I'm saying? Because it's close, but it's not exact. But I mean, like when you learn one, it's easier to learn another. You know what I'm saying? And then you kind of pick up what people are saying Latin wise. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I have very little knowledge about Russian or Japanese or Chinese. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it looks completely different to me. You know what I'm saying? Even the characters. You know what I'm saying? That they say in China, the characters go on for fucking ever. There's thousands of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
well, that's because they're just like they have it's a I forget the term for where they have a symbol that means a word. But yeah, instead of having an alphabet like we do.
It's calligraphy. Oh, well, not calligraphy. It's I forgot what you call it. Something to do with almost like a hieroglyphic type of sense.
Yeah, just something along that sort. In fact, funny thing about Japanese, I'm going to be taking it in college, but they have 3 different writing styles. 2 of them are like alphabets, but one of them is like Chinese, where it's a kind of cuneiform, and they use each of the 3 interchangeably. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's completely interesting, and it's like I have my friends who are like, you know, they're partly Asian, or you know, it's like one was trying to explain how to speak like Taiwanese to me, like how he would speak to his Taiwan friends, and it's like he's like, there's different tones. It's like the same word, but you say the same word in a different tone, and it means something else. So when you come it off, you have to think of the tone that you're saying. Otherwise, you're saying completely fucking something else, and that even blows my mind because it's like it's the same word, but it's a different tone.
Yeah, that's the thing about Mandarin. They are Mandarin, Korean. Mandarin is, by the way, Chinese. Vietnamese, Taiwanese, Mongolian. They're tonal, so they use like tones to differentiate words. Japanese is actually the only Asiatic language that doesn't rely on tones.
Oh, really?
And the Western world, like, yeah, it's like the only one. It's like the outlier of East Asia that doesn't use that, where it doesn't change.
Well, they're left on an island of their own, so I guess that's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you couldn't get off the island for a while.
And then over here in the Western world, where we have like one word for everything, and that's kind of like the Western aspect, and we tend to gravitate towards that. But yeah, then you go over to East Asia, and where tone can change everything.
Everything.
It's odd.
Well, I mean,
odd from our perspective.
Even like Spanish is very blunt. It's very forward and very blunt, very direct. You know what I'm saying? That's where English is much more descriptive. Like we can make a sentence expand 40 fucking words if we want to. You know what I'm saying? In Spanish, it's direct. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. You're doing this now, then and there. You know what I'm saying? It's like very, very forward, very direct. As like not as descriptive, I guess.
But it requires a lot of twisting of the tongue and manipulation of your tone too, and how you say it. Since English is Germanic allows you to add so many descriptive words, but still come on to that. But it's also very direct language. Like English has one word for everything. German has one word for everything. You don't have to change words because of gender necessarily, except for those. Well, that's only for German, but they have 3, and that's all you change.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's awesome.
You don't ever change like how they're spelled. You don't change how they're pronounced. Nothing. That's like,
yeah. I mean, it makes sense because I love like
direct in a different way.
I think it's interesting. Language is just interesting in general. You know what I'm saying? Especially how everybody developed fucking all these different languages. You live on one planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's very, very, very,
well,
very.
Even German has like a million different dialects depending on which region you're in. Like, say, Bavarian is completely different from Prussian German because it's like one was developed in the north of Germany, one was developed in the south, and those people tended to not move around.
Yeah, I mean
So
Spanish. Yeah, Spanish is the same way. I mean, I could tell. I'm almost to the point where I could tell where you're at, where you're from in Mexico by how you speak Spanish, and because different regions speak different ways. Like people from Dorado, Mexico, are very forward and very up in your face with the language. There's where more other parts of Mexico, like say Puerto Vallarta, are more laid back. So I mean, they're not coming at you as strong with the language, but you know, it's you can almost tell.
it's same with English. Like you can tell that like the English and then the American English and then the Australian, New Zealand, you can tell these different tones and different accents and how they come across. It's just regional. We can all understand each other, but it's just it changes over time because people tend to like live together, and then when you live together, you form your own accents and you form your own
Spanish.
dialects and how you speak. Yeah,
For
it's
us
every
people who
single
know
language in the world.
Yeah, pretty much. But it all becomes like this big jazz pool of languages. But yeah, I mean it's very interesting to watch, you know, and to see, you know, it's like guess where, you know, you're from by your dialect and shit. But I mean, it's some of the hardest. I mean, I have to pick up. I like to say like thick Scottish. Sometimes it's hard for me to understand them. Even some thick English, like London, like England English. They're some. If you get like someone with a really thick accent, it is almost hard to understand what they're saying. My friend's one of my best friend's mother was 100% Scottish, and like her Scottish relatives with their relatives would come over from Scotland to hang out, and like her accent would just go like blood thick when they were there. So it's like you're trying to like understand what they're saying, but it's like, is it really English? But it's like this half English, half Gaelic. It's so weird. You know what I'm saying? But it's like even some words that they use that we don't even know, don't even understand what they mean. But it's like this weird twisted English. And it's some places are just like that. Like I said, the Scottish is probably the thickest one for me to understand. Also, like very very thick English, because there's people out there with such a thick English accent that like whatever that comes out their mouth, it's just like a rack-a-dack, a rack-frack. You're like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, try understanding.
And that's why, like, and getting back to that, like, there was I remember a Norwegian person that I met, but they learned English through the British, specifically in London. So they got the very British aspect of English. And then when they came over to America, he was having difficulty trying to understand us because we just speak like completely different accent, completely different way of speaking. And we're not I'd say Americans are more blunt in how we speaking our English, at least from the Midwestern accent like most of us here have.
Yeah, Midwest, baby. But it's funny because it's like they send newscasters to Chicago because they feel that the Midwest has the most politically correct form of English for TV. So a lot of newscasters, sometimes actors, get sent to Chicago to learn the dialect and then get sent to where they're going to go. So it's kind of weird.
Well, it's the most dominant nationwide too. The Midwest accent, I can hear it. I can hear it from like people in Idaho. I can hear it from people in Alaska. I can hear it all the way to like Virginia. Most people have this accent in the U.S. And then you get like the offshoots, like say in the Southeast or California has its own accent, and Seattle I can kind of tell has its own accent, but it's very similar to Midwestern, but yet a little different. And then oh my God, Boston.
Oh my God, those guys speak so thick, dude. Jersey, even too. Jersey and Boston both. New York, you can kind of pick it up here. They have a kind of rough edge to their, but I mean, like Boston and Jersey, dude, that is some really fucked up English. It really fucking is.
Yeah, the East Coast is like the only place where the most diversity in accents come from in the U.S. Otherwise, the more west you go, the more Midwestern dominated it gets, besides for California.
Yeah, I mean, California's got its own deal. When I was out there, it's they definitely got their own vibe. What was the big thing out of Cal? Right on, man. Right on. Like that's all I heard, dude. Everybody is like, right on, and it's like the big thing out there. I'm like, okay, not cool, awesome. Then when I came down to Florida for the first time, everything was pro. Like, that's pro, man. Yeah, I'm about to pro this shit over here. And it's just so weird to fucking see the little things. And we're Midwest, we're just kind of like, fuck you. Yeah. I mean, throw up a finger. You know, I mean, I don't know.
Well, guys, I'm getting really, really tired here.
You're getting tired.
I'm about ready to fall asleep.
Boo.
We're boring him.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
think
not boring. It's just
Talking about
I.
accents and dialects.
Right. You may learn a thing. We're dropping some knowledge here. Okay.
I know it.
Yeah, come on, take notes.
I haven't had much sleep lately because I've been fighting this little whatever bug.
Come on,
So
I'm
I
only
think
getting
I'm
like
going
4
to go
hours
to
of sleep,
sleep.
and I'm still energetic.
If you want anything to promote anything, go ahead.
New experience video
Um,
real soon on Act 5. I should have another 20 minutes of the video to do. And
All right, and
Check-
Ricky, I'll
Check
have
out my channel. I just put out a Rise of Skywalker review. Anybody wants to check it out, especially if you want to see like expand universe stuff I mentioned and how I compare it.
Darth, type something in chat so I can.
Okay.
So I can just
I
pick it back in.
Yeah. In a moment, I don't have the stream up here. It's loading.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I can subscribe to your channel. I don't know if I'm subscribed to you yet or not.
Okay. There.
Awesome.
And why don't you type something in? I don't remember if I'm subscribed to yours.
There you go.
If I am, then I'm not getting anything on notifications.
everybody sub to everybody. That way, it's all fair.
And then turn
I
the bells
got
on.
sci-fi. I'm already on sci-fi. I got sci-fi.
Actually, I'm happy to see Han got past the 200 mark.
Yeah, I just did that tonight, as a matter of fact.
Nice.
Telling you, name that tune's going to take off.
Han, write
It's-
something in chat so I can get to your channel.
Yeah, it's been doing good. It's been pulling in pretty good numbers to be for as small as my channel is. I mean,
Oh yeah, I'm subscribed to you, Ensign Ricky.
All right, cool.
Han. Let's go to yours.
Okay, I got Han.
GLM, you're way past 200.
I think Bird of Prey is killing us. Anti-Trucker's killing us.
I don't know. GLM's right up there with Bird of Prey easily.
Small channels unite.
I got a hell of a boost from Captain
I'm
Foley
almost-
Yeah, Foley throws me a couple
2 nights ago. I shot up 70 subs in 24 hours.
Or when Nerd Erotic called
Holy
out
shit.
Anti-Tracker. He got what, like 1,000 subs off it or something fucking ridiculous. When Nerd Erotic was like, subscribe to this guy.
Let's see how many
Foley is
subs.
Sci-Fi Nation's personal friend.
Ooh, 97. I'm so close to 100.
when are you supposed to leave for basic, Darth?
February 25th.
Do you already know what your MOS is going to be?
12 November, Horizontal Construction Engineer, aka drive around heavy equipment.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'll be part of the Army Corps of Engineers, not the civilian part. But yeah.
Those
That'll
are
be
all
fun in my
rankings,
unit.
right? Those are not the actual.
What?
So that's a whole different ranking system, ain't it?
The Army, well, there's 2 different Army Corps of Engineers. There's the Army part, then there's the civilian part. I'm part of the Army part. I don't know about the civilian part. I know they exist, but I don't know anything about them.
Well, I'm just saying it's just because like the difference between like Chief O'Brien and like even in Star Trek, the difference between Chief O'Brien and the rest of the crew was he's like a civilian officer, I guess, and he's as high as you can go in the civilians. But the
I thought he was like Starfleet enlisted.
I don't know if it's enlisted. I don't think he's an actual officer. Because
he's not an officer, but I think Starfleet still has enlisted ranks, and I think he's like he's a NCO enlisted,
Is he?
Non-commissioned officer.
Well, I know ensign.
Non-commissioned officers are like sergeants and stuff.
Oh,
They lead troops, but they're not officers. And I think that's what O'Brien is.
Yeah, I mean, because they say technically the ensigns outrank him in lore all the time, like an actual ensign.
Yeah, but the thing about that is like there's a silent, like unspoken rule in the military that if you have more time in, you are more senior than even the guy that outranks you. Like, say, a second lieutenant fresh out of college does not outrank a first sergeant, because the first sergeant, he's been there for like 20 plus years.
He's went through the shit. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So, like, second lieutenant better respect the first sergeant, because first sergeant, he's seen the stuff.
That makes sense.
And also, like, it's better. We tend to not respect officers that haven't been enlisted prior. It's like silent disrespect. We don't voice it, but yeah.
Well, it's kind of like jumping the line, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, it is. Like, I'm gonna get a commission. I'm going to college. I'm technically joining the reserves, but I'm gonna be enlisted before, so I actually understand what my men will be going through. And that just gives a lot more respect. Only if you are in the military do you actually understand that.
Yeah, I mean, it's I've always wondered. Yeah, I'm saying it's because the ranking system or whatnot, and they always bring up in Star Trek that like technically the ensigns outrank O'Brien, who's been there for fucking years. You know what I'm saying? Non-commissioned chief. And O'Brien was a soldier at one point. They do say he was a soldier at one point, but then he just went to.
Yeah, it's just like that silent. It's like anybody that served, and the writers probably knew that, was like, Chief was there for like 20 years. These ensigns are brand new out of the academy. Those ensigns are going to be listening to that senior guy just because he's seen the shit. Sense. He's been in the trenches. Yeah, and that's how it goes. In fact, like they called him a fresh second lieutenant out of college tends to get paired up with a first sergeant or just some senior sergeant of some rank, just because like they're fresh and the sergeants have been there longer, and the sergeants will like kind of like school them on things that they need to learn that they didn't learn through the book. And that's called marrying soldiers, because it's kind of like a marriage.
Technically, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to crash.
Oh, he's tired. He can't hang anymore.
I'm old, damn it.
Those extra 6 years he got on me.
But we'll do this again probably tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow night. I'm off to Friday, so I'm game.
If you start this as late as you can, I can join.
This is right around the normal times we've been doing these.
I mean, like midnight. Fucking everybody been jumping on. Like, hey, what's up, everybody?
We kind of got to wait till everybody else shuts down their streams before we can do anything.
Yeah,
pretty much. And everybody's always.
Yeah, I work till 9 tomorrow.
Yeah, I usually tend to work really late too.
But it's been fun. Everybody make sure that you subscribe to each other, and anybody that watches this stream, like Bird of Prey, make sure that you go down the list and subscribe too, because we do that, Bird.
Yeah, Bird.
But anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. I gotta go run to Discord real quick after this because Captain Cat has to come over so I can explain something to him. And I hope everybody else has a wonderful rest of the night and morning.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Peace.